Yes, another sitting of JMS Toronto on this Saturday, cold Saturday in Toronto, Canada. I'm wishing you brothers again, apostles, shalom. So we're commended as men to go in the houses and byways and the hedges and bid the Lord's elect to come in and basically speak against this wicked and sinful kingdom, which is in a dark way of saying Babylon the Great. But we're here to bring clarity and to show people, or who are you listeners, that this place Babylon is actually America. Okay, and people that's also in a spiritual sense, a mindset of being contrary in a rebellious state as it pertains to the Lord. Okay, so we're to set up again to be the ones that shed light upon what was long time hidden. Okay, so, everybody want to get Jeremiah 28. So that we're not speaking out of other ass here. Actually speaking what the Bible says.
Jeremiah 20
Verse 8.
Jeremiah 28 and verse 8. The prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesied both against many countries and against great kingdoms of war and of evil and of pestilence.
Okay, so it said the prophets. So we're not doing anything new, right, as it pertains to talking what's to come of this place, right? It didn't say we were to bring glad tidings. It says we're to prophesy against great kingdoms. Against what?
Against great kingdoms of wars and
so,
of evil.
So wars, right? About the saber rattling as it pertains to America and so-called over the office. There's a so-called Zelensky, right? Which we know it's all an act. It's based on hypocrites, actors, right? The Bible give us on the mindset to understand that what you see them doing on TV, like television means televised your vision. So you have to think it's real. That's all scripted. All right.
He's on his way out.
Gone.
Pretty much.
Gone.
Right? Because that was an act. He played his part, and now they're finally changing it because in Ukraine I think they're doing an impeachment against him now. Right? There's a minister or somebody. They're doing an impeachment. So he played his part. He's an actor. Right? Like you said, this is a big stage. Everything is pretty much set up. Like when you watch the movie Wag the Dog with Robert De Niro, right? They set up these scenarios, and now you have more splitting because you have people on TikTok and different forums. They're debating now, and people are calling this guy Zelensky. He's brave. He stood up to Trump, and these people are dying, but they don't understand what's going on, right? They don't know that was a situation in itself. That was a fabrication. That whole Ukraine thing, because that's a big human trafficking hub. For years, you had the World Health Organization declared a human trafficking hub from the year 2000 officially. Now when you go look for that article, you can't find it, right? But it used to be on Google.
And just like you can't find the information on Joe Biden's son, because he was over there in Ukraine as well. Yeah, that's right.
Somebody get Job 15 and
And
34.
that's how you know that's the most he set that up, because this dude went to a regular a laptop repairman and said, "Yo, I need this repaired," and he forgot all the shit that he had in his hard drive.
Yeah, because it's on
Okay.
Yeah, man.
Miranda?
So Job 15 and 34, it says, for the congregation of hypocrites
That's right. The congregation of hypocrites, and somebody read hypocrites from the Levitic.
shall be desolate,
Shall be what?
desolate,
So the Most High is basically sanctioned with actors for desolation. All right, you agree?
and fire shall consume the tabernacles of bribery.
So should the spectators be glued to TV as it concerns who's going to be the next ruler, who's going to be the next president? They should be glued to TV about what we're saying, right? I would want to know what the Most High is sanctioned this place for, right? I don't care who's not wearing a suit, right? And who's going to wear a suit more expensive and less expensive and all that madness. I want to know what the Most High says as it pertains to fire and as it pertains to me. Sorry, brother.
So Job 15 and 34, for the congregation of hypocrites shall be desolate, and fire shall consume the tabernacles of bribery.
And we already talked about what the word hypocrite means. It's actors. Okay. But it says of bribery. How much money this man was sent? How much billions? Right? Like he was saying so much billions, bailouts as a concern, murdering each other, which is okay. I mean, we just sit back on the popcorn, man, you know, because we don't interfere with you mere mortals. You know, like how you guys think, right? We're about what the Bible says that pertains to us. We're about trying some salvation, right? And prophecy. God. Is that enough?
I can read 35 too.
But
Verse 35, it says, they conceive mischief and bring forth vanity, and their belly prepareth deceit.
that's right, man. So everything you see is based on deception, man. That's this man's power. Like this man's office wasn't to bring truth and light. He was put forth to cause shroudiness, had the place in a place of confusion, hence the term Babylon. Right? We started by saying America is Babylon. So the head honchos, their thing is about mystery, right? You know, like who done it? You know, what's going on? That's what's been echoed. No, hey, what's going on, man? You know, you hear it. No, you should be saying what the prophet is saying. Everybody should be glued to the TV every Saturday. They want to hear what Jim is around the world is saying and the affiliates. But is that so? No, right? The Bible says that they curse him that rebuketh at the gates.
Yeah.
Right? So this is where they shake the fist at. You know, say, them guys again. You know, they have some 2 cents Negroites jumps on and start talking some stuff about, oh, you guys, you know, you're haters, and you know, there's hate in the Bible, man. The Bible speaks about hate and strongly, man. And who does it pertains to? Esau, Edom. So we get Malachi. Is it one?
Doing definition of the
Yeah. I paper, remember?
Strong's H 2611. Chanef.
which means hypocritical, godless,
It
profane.
says gutless
Yeah.
and profane. All right. So who's profane in the Bible? Esau. Bible says for mere morsel of meat, the man's song his birthright, which means what? He didn't believe.
Right.
Every brother you see on the highways and byways or there have one thing in common is that they believe. All right. We're called here to believe, man. Because when you first came, you didn't know everything, and you still won't know everything, right? Yeah, you have unction to do so, though. You can't say, "Oh, I have nothing to do." You have something. Yeah, we have lots to do. There's so much you can get into as it pertains to this doctrine, right? If you don't know something, hey, brother, you didn't know this, and go back and forth, you know, and come to speed, right? And that's what we're commissioned to do. We're commissioned to bring each every brother up on the level, all right? So what else? Is there anything else?
What else on that?
That's it?
Yeah.
Esau, the hate.
Malachi 1, verse 1 through 3. The burden of the word of the Lord Yahweh to Israel by Malachi.
That's right. Malachi was an Israelite, right? You want to Google it? It starts in an Israelite. All right. So it's a burden, man, because to go out and profess and say, "Hey, I'm an Israelite," you know, you're gonna be shunned first of all and be laughed at. Like, "Hey, yeah, sure you are. Hey, yeah, whatever." You know what I'm saying? So it's a burden to bring this word to your family, to your close relatives. Right? They think you're going off.
It was the truth.
God.
It's the truth.
God.
Because you have the commercial side of this Israelite thing. You look at these other Israelite camps. Now, being an Israelite, because the idea of being an Israelite, which is a heritage, it's not just a movement, it's a heritage, is being merged with America. You know, so now, just like back then, you want to, like, you know, when Yahushua came back, they said, you know, we know he's telling the truth, but if we give in to him, the Romans are going to come and take away all our stuff. So that breeds an idea of trying to blend two together, so you can, you know, have your cake and eat it too, so to speak. When this truth is one or the other. If you choose to serve the Lord, you serve the Lord. You can't serve both. A lot of your Israelites are given that notion that you can do both. You could be an Israelite and still be in America. Nah, man. Being an Israelite has nothing to be associated with America.
Yeah, being a t-shirt Israelite.
T-shirt Israelite. Yeah, exactly. Right. I want to bring something up real quick. You mentioned how you know, people should be glued to what the prophets are speaking. And that's very true. And the reason why they're not is because you haven't felt enough pain yet. Right? The seriousness of what things are happening hasn't really hit yet, but it's getting there. Because the scriptures say that the Most High will send his prophets last. Right? So he's saving the best for last. So this is 2 Ezra 5 and 8. There shall be a confusion also in many places. We spoke on that confusion. So that's where Esau can divine his sorcery and bring out so-called order, which is really disorder. And the fire shall be oft sent out again, and the wild beasts shall change their places, right? Coming into the cities. Menstruous women shall bring forth monsters, and the salt water shall be found in the sweet. Salt water shall be found in the sweet, right? So contamination, poisonings, and all friends shall destroy one another. Then shall wit hide itself, and that's talking about wisdom, starting with the prophets. And understanding withdraw itself into its secret chambers. That's ultimately going to be what? The chariots. And shall be sought out of many, and yet not be found. That's how the Most High has it set up. Where right now, you know, the prophets are ignored and they're ridiculed and hated and mocked at. Mentally, right? Because now you're bugging out and there's no hope. You can't turn back time. That's it. You got to go forward and deal with what's coming down the pipe.
Yeah, like the book of Ezra, when it says as a arrow shot of a mighty
Right.
archer,
Right.
turn it not back.
Exactly.
So the
Exactly.
prophecies can turn back.
That's right. And it says, finishing up, slide.
And then that's going into also the famine of the word,
That's right.
Yeah.
right? The famine of the word, man.
That's right. Okay, yeah, verse 10 it says, and shall be sought of many, and yet not be found. Then shall unrighteousness and inconsistency,
Incompetence.
inconsistency, be
Which is get into my inner thoughts. What that was? Encroaching thoughts or
Intrusive?
intrusive thoughts. Intrusive thoughts.
yeah, intrusive
Well,
thought.
people have a bunch of demons on you, so whatever thoughts may come mind in that day, you're just occupying,
Right,
you know, in that beast state of mind.
right. That's
I
right.
actually got the word wisdom in the Edom. The word wit, it's a noun, a mental capacity, the mind as the seat of thinking and reasoning, understanding, intellect, sense, knowledge, from Proto-Germanic wit, to see, metaphorically to know.
Right.
So wit is going to hide itself. So people aren't going to know what to do.
Right.
That's why the book of Jeremiah it says, "Seek ye the Lord while you may be found."
Found, right. Con. It says, an inconsistency be multiplied upon the earth. One land also shall ask another and say, is righteousness that maketh a man righteous gone through thee? Right? And that's very parabolic, but this is going to play out to be, you know, those street corner Israelites, those guys on the street corner, the Hebrew Israelites, and really, right, and really, GMS, you know, starting with the apostles and now on down, 100% truth is here. Okay, not saying that there isn't agents among GMS, but the 100% truth is here. So it says, and gone through thee, and it shall say no. Right? Last verse says, at the same time shall men hope, but nothing obtain. They shall labor, but their ways shall not prosper. So you're gonna scratch, claw, and try to do everything you can to protect yourself, your family, you know, and none of it's gonna work. You know, in Amos it says, as a man ran from a bear, and a lead in his hand, and a snake bit him. So you're gonna be in all kind of different perplexities and not having answers or any hope, which is why these people are gonna go wild. They're gonna become savages, real savages. And really, it's gonna be them demons on them having free reign right before Yahushua comes. Because when Yahushua came the first time, right? Them demons that were on that guy said, you know, why have you come to bother us before the time? You know, we still got time here to rule and do what we got to do. So why are you here? He cursed them out, sent them in the pigs, and the pigs ran and committed suicide. So imagine those demons on people. It's going to get completely wild and insane out there. And if you're not, you know, repenting in this time of grace, it's no turning back time. That's it.
I got the word incontinent as well. You're bringing out that point. The word incontinent, wanting self-restraint, immoderate, intemperate, not holding back. Right? And the word continent, the root means self-restraint, temperate, abstemious, because there's a thing called civil order. A lot of men, when you see a woman, they want to do things to a woman. When they see her a certain way,
That's right.
but what pops in your head is, now I'm gonna get locked up.
Yeah.
So in that time, you're not gonna have that thought.
Right.
Because you're gonna have no civil order. There's gonna be civil disorder, civil war,
Right.
right? It's called a state of anarchy when there's no present government. That's what Second Ezra's 15, 16.
Right.
They shall not regard their princes,
Yeah.
right? It's sedition among men.
Right.
Especially abstaining from or moderate in sexual intercourse. So they're not gonna abstain from you.
Exactly.
Holding together, continuous, to hold back, to check. Right? So you're not gonna, hey, these people, man, they're gonna lose it. When you have nothing to lose, you lose it.
Yeah, and all the people, there's a lot of people out here on medication,
Yeah.
you know? Right? So when society collapse, pharmaceuticals collapse, Shoppers Drug Mart, that's done. Walgreens, that's finished. Right? Gone.
Even the liquor is medicine.
Oh, yeah,
Knocking down the man's door for the wine.
You got a lot of functional, cokeheads, functional
lawyers,
heroin.
lawyers, judges,
No,
lawyers.
Yeah, you're right.
A lot of people-
Finance guy.
In that time, you're gonna be intemperate,
Mhm.
right? At the end of a long day, you go home, you do your lines, you drink, you get into your vices, but in that day, you're not gonna have those things. What are you gonna do?
And the reason why they're functional as well is because their drugs is more cleaner.
Yeah.
You see a person on the side of the street, you go on James Street, you see a crackhead, that's because they have to buy low budget drugs. Those rich people, they can buy shit that's high end, and their high end drugs is actually a lot better. Yeah. That's why when you have people that die in the city, the police will tell you, oh, it was cut with this, it was cut with that. That's when you get in trouble. They'll tell you they put or it was laced with this just to make the drug more stronger.
Because that's what they're doing with the fentanyl. They're interlacing.
They interlace
They have
it.
different. They have one that's stronger than fentanyl.
Con,
It's like 10 times stronger.
yeah,
They mix it with fentanyl.
just to touch it, you can fuck yourself up by touching
Yeah.
it.
What was it about?
Yeah, that was it. That was it.
Yeah, back in Malachi 1, verse 2. I have loved you, saith the Lord Yahweh, yet ye say, wherein hast thou loved us? Was not Esau Jacob's brother, saith the Lord Yahweh, yet I loved Jacob, and I hated Esau?
That's right. And Esau goes back to basically the so-called white man, right? That goes back to Edom, right? Esau is Edom, right? So the Most High has basically said that he loves the people for himself, which are the Israelites, right? Mainly the 1/3 on this side, consisting of 1/4 per thousand and the 1/3.
That's right.
All right. So the Most High has sanctioned some people for judgment and some people for mercy. Okay.
And laid his mountains and his heritage waste.
So that's what you're seeing all of the government. There were mountains there. So every place where you say Edomite has set his pitch his nest, right? Right? They shall be kicked out of power, man, and shall be brought down low. The Bible speaks about seeing servants on horses, right, and princes on foot, right? Those princes is basically us, Israelites, all right, in a low estate. Why? Because we sinned. We rebelled against Heavenly Father. Okay.
For the dragons of the wilderness, whereas Edom saith, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places.
Which they did. They got a thing, build back better. That was a slogan, right? Talking about it.
Make America great.
Done, right? But it wasn't sanctioned to be made great again. The Bible had it sanctioned for total destruction, annihilation, right? That's to come to an end, man.
And that's the tail end of him trying to build back better. What you guys were saying, he really started that 500 years ago.
Right.
Slowly creeping in, making plans, being devious, paying people off, destroying families, all the way up to the point now they have the whole world in their hands, fulfilling prophecy. As you know, you go into Revelation 20th chapter, that old serpent, right? And it says he rule a little time. Now, a lot of these historians will tell you that an empire will last about 250 years. So you think it's a coincidence that I think next year will be the 250th year for America? You see, so this guy's at his last. He's scratching. This is where he's gonna be the most ferocious because he's at the tail end of everything. You know?
The Revelation 12, so you jump only that short time.
Right? Yeah. Yeah.
Brother, get that? 12 and 12, I think.
Bring up.
Oh, that's 2026, July 4th,
2026.
250. So right now it's 240.
Okay.
It's gonna be 240.
249.
We're in that time, man.
So,
Yeah. I got that real quick. He said 12 and 12, right?
Yeah.
So Revelation 12 and 12, it reads, "Therefore rejoice ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them."
That's right. So right now, this is what you're seeing: the kingdom of heaven is within you. So in a spiritual sense, we are the kingdom of heaven, man. All right, and we're rejoicing because we know the timeline is showing that this man's kingdom, his rulership, is coming to an end. All right, so we're rejoicing. All right, that's why like most brothers, when I mean the video is about a hastening, not a longer time period. I hope the Lord doesn't come back, no matter how good you're doing. Right, however good we're doing in this kingdom, it's bad. All right, doesn't matter what is it you're doing because what you're not in rulership. Right, so you shouldn't want to be ruling or have anything while another man is ruling and telling you how how to raise your children, right? How much woman you can have or can't have. You know what I mean? So you shouldn't want nothing to do with that. You shouldn't want a righteous reign, and only a righteous reign is going to be based on Yahweh Hashem Yahushai.
Right.
Nothing here is good. There's nothing, zero. There's not one good thing about this place. Truth is hidden.
Exactly. And that's why he said the kingdom of heaven is within you, which is knowledge.
Gone.
But you can't just pop up in the kingdom of heaven and not have this truth.
That's right.
And it's actually against the law for us to not make righteous judgment. The
Yep.
fact that we have to see wickedness and we cannot judge it is
Yep.
actually us going off.
Yep.
Right? But the
Yep.
earth is just given into the hands of the wicked.
That's right.
That's true.
The fact that we can't execute judgment, we're going off.
Right.
Because you can't be an Israelite and you're watching wickedness.
That's right.
That's against the law.
Exactly.
You're being morally neutered every day.
Every day, that's how I feel.
Every day.
I feel like that. Every day. You're being emasculated. Yeah, man. Con. And it's not supposed to be that way.
And it says, "Woe to the inhabitants of the earth."
Because even Slocky, after before, even back in the day, on old VHS tapes, you had the R rating, the 14, all those things get pushed back.
Right.
As years go by. Now the R rated movie, or back in the day, more and more wicked.
It's true. And it says, "Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down."
So it doesn't matter where you at, man. You know what I mean, the sea also refers to the people. So it doesn't matter where you think you're gonna run to, you're gonna hide. Most doesn't matter where you're in. The judgment is gonna come down on the people, man. All nations are gonna feel it.
That's
So
right.
it'll be no, you have to go over here, yeah, all right. And, got me some chickens and some tuna and some dry goods. Doesn't matter, man.
Why do you think the Most High gave Esau the whole world?
Mhm.
So that, like you said,
Gone.
you can't escape.
Don't worry.
Man has the whole earth.
Hey, but just to go off what the brother was saying, what happened to the governments that wouldn't do the joke, right? Their leaders got deleted.
That's
right.
They got taken out.
That's right.
That was a global takeover.
That's right.
And everybody that spoke against it, that was a leader,
That's right.
which was, some of them were a lot of Jays
Gone.
or dark-skinned men.
Yeah.
They're out of here.
Yeah.
And nobody ever talked about it again. Nobody
right.
talked about it but us.
That's right. That's right. And that's how it gets down. You don't do puppet kings. You don't do what he tells you to do. Often.
That's right.
You just run through people until one listens.
And that's how we know Russia is a part of the whole thing.
That's right.
That's not no enemy or no boogeyman. That's a joke. He made his own joke thing.
Right.
Called a
There you go.
Sputnik or whatever. This was called like a
Yeah, yeah.
Sputnik.
And they would knock on your door and give it to you.
Yeah, exactly over there.
Drape you up and,
Yeah.
you know.
KJB style.
Yeah.
So guess what? you know, we're laughing and glossing over it, but that's the Most High, man. Amos 3:6 or 3:7 says, "Shall the even say that the Lord has not done it?"
Right.
I mean, so the Lord sanctioned you to get that joke. So go take it, man.
Yeah.
So certain men, the Lord put aside, you know, leave these men alone.
Right.
Which is why, you know, there's certain laws was put in place where they can't really touch certain people. They touch on my anointing,
Right,
and anointing is going on with the oil, with his knowledge. So them, I said, leave them men alone.
right. And how much more when things are lawless?
Gone.
Right, you're right. All these different things, you know, are set up so like the internet, you know, so we can speak and do all these things.
Mhm.
Freedom of speech, so
Gone.
called. So how much more when there is no law?
Gone.
You know, it's gonna be like it's gonna be miracles at that point
Gone.
that are gonna be happening that the elect are gonna be relying on day in and day out.
And that freedom is going into so the truth shall make you free, and that word freedom is being, you know, heralded, but it's now it's time you're free to not be dumb. All right, you're free to go and subscribe to this knowledge, this truth.
Mhm.
And no one's stopping you from you know, turning your TV on. You know, there's Wi-Fi everywhere. You know, so if you can't afford a package on your phone, you know, data, go to Tim Hortons, go to wherever, you know, and log on.
So go to
Subscribe.
McDonald's.
Gone.
McDonald's has the best internet.
Gone. See the brother tell you, I'm game.
No, because I know. I've done it before.
Good.
When I never had internet, I just sat outside of McDonald's in my car.
Gone.
I uploaded my videos.
That's right.
They have the bell, high speed.
I went to the public library.
Public library. you got those.
DTC.
Well, DTC is getting rid of theirs.
Oh.
Let me just finish this up. So it says, therefore rejoice ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth, of the sea, for the devil is come down onto you, having great wrath.
So Satan jumped out of heaven. The devil is defined as a deceiver, man, and you'll be deceived by your TV. That's his main tool, right? The TV is media, celebrities, yeah.
Right?
If I'm on TV, right? Hollywood was not just put there because, you know, guys say, hey, it's called Hollywood. That actually has a meaning, right? It's casting spells. Like these words ain't just some words some guy put out his hat. These words have meaning and they have a strong grasp on your psyche, right?
And that's what, yeah, that's what Harry Potter had.
The
The
one,
one, that's the Hollywood.
Gone.
Hollywood is
They
the
use
one.
the Hollywood for the wand,
Yeah, it's the
the
one.
magic wand.
you know,
One of the elites.
right?
It says, coming down having great wrath onto you.
Mhm.
Sorry, coming down onto you having great wrath, because he knoweth that he had half but a short time.
That's right. Most I didn't say he was guessing at a short time. Yeah, how much man said he knows. He knows. You know, that's why he hit our videos, man. Right? You think that this is troubling. Like if you were to watch and say they're talking what? So even if you didn't know, your boys say, so what's this? And the Edomites are us? And one with Esau, he's gonna do deep research, he's gonna dig. So even then he's gonna dig, yeah, you know something, it is us, man.
Of course.
Yeah.
Them guys are legit.
And
What?
they did it for, and that's, you're right. Like you got the lower level Edomites, they do that and they get that reaction. Oh, you know. And they do that research. The top level Edomites, they look at that and they laugh.
Mhm.
These niggas don't know what they're talking about.
Yeah, but they have our records.
No,
So when
no.
they go through our records, they're seeing, oh
Yeah.
shit.
But they knew it before us.
Exactly.
So,
Yeah,
you know,
that's exactly.
So
yeah.
my point is that in Wisdom of Solomon 2, it tells
They
you
don't
they look at what we teach,
Good.
and in his mind, it's like we're still gonna win.
Right.
Like he tells you exactly what they say. Like okay,
But that's pride.
exactly.
Yeah, pride blinds you. Right?
That's that. That's that. demon.
We get it.
That's
No,
that
I
devil.
know it's a demon because that fat
I
girl
don't think about that.
who couldn't fit in the cab,
And she sued
she said that when she looks in the mirror, she only sees a skinny girl. But there's people like that. No, she's not lying.
It's called body dysmorphia.
Body dysmorphia.
That's right.
So you're right. People do have that. When they see in the mirror, it's not really them.
Yes. Yes.
I've seen somebody like that. The girl who was
You
skinny,
can broke started that.
she used to throw up a lot. Every meal she eats, she throws up. And she's all skinny bone. She got an accent, but she thinks she's fat. In her mind, it's a demon. It's a demon.
Because remember, right? They, right when they got into power around 1800s,
Yep.
they were already looking into, okay, is Noah's Ark real?
Yeah.
Was Sodom and
Searching
Gomorrah?
everything else.
Once they found out
Lot's
it was
wife.
real, that's when they said, look, we need to create the Bible instruction unit.
Right.
That's right.
To this verify.
That's right.
pretty much. And they set up their professors in colleges.
That's right.
Where in college, right, the textbook was the Bible.
Right.
That's
And
what,
then they got rid of that.
that's why you have a whole period known as the Enlightenment period, where all they did was question the scriptures.
Yeah.
That was the whole theme.
Yeah, just to add to the point in regards to like, having the freedom to, get into understanding. But we don't charge. Like this is Isaiah 55 verse 1, and it says, "Ho, everyone that thirsteth, come ye to the waters, and he that hath no money, come ye buy and eat. Yea, come buy wine
Break it down, brother.
and milk without money and without price. Wherefore do ye spend money for that which is not bread, and your labor which satisfieth not? Hearken diligently unto me, and eat ye which is good, and let your soul delight itself in fatness." Right. So in terms of eating, we eat spiritually by through this knowledge, wisdom, understanding. But essentially, like verse 2 was talking about, okay, why do you go to these other places, like for example, like the school systems and all that kind of stuff? A lot of our people go into these school systems and they spend thousands of dollars when you can learn a lot more, when you subscribe to your apostles and elders and the men that are actually teaching on the highways and byways. As the scriptures talk about, wisdom crieth without, and she roughly paraphrase,
Yeah.
she uttereth the voice in the chief place of concourse, right? Through our apostles and elders, they push out that vibration in the sense of, charge, like, okay, there's no like PayPal link account, next to the video that they upload, for example, right? We're not charging for the breakdowns and names and, marriage, all this kind of stuff, right? Like other camps do, right? So just going to the point in regards to like, we don't charge, and you have the freedom essentially to get this understanding, get it what it's hot, basically.
Yeah, because this truth was hidden, right? I went to college. I never learned that out of my Hebrew Israelite. I never knew. We all didn't know. In high school, they didn't tell us that that you guys are the sons of God. Right? So it's been a secret, right?
They taught you evolution and pseudoscience.
Yeah.
It came from
Yeah,
apes
sure.
and monkeys.
Yeah.
You know?
Will.
Homosexuality.
Right.
And then the Moors, that I didn't know that that black people were in power in the Dark Ages, the Middle Ages.
We didn't learn about that guy in Scotia.
Matthew.
Matthew DaCosta. We didn't learn about Matthew DaCosta.
Yeah.
That's a big figure.
Yeah, that's right. Or that we invented hockey.
Right. You might say so much.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, like we didn't know
Still
about
think
the
it's
black
race.
inventors, in the Americas.
Well, somebody hold that Wisdom Psalm 5.
I got a real quick one.
Okay.
That was it?
That was it, yeah.
This is. Sirach 51, verse 23. It says, "Draw near unto me, ye unlearned, and dwell in the house of learning. Wherefore are ye slow? And what say you to these things? Seeing your souls are very thirsty."
Very thirsty.
I opened my mouth and said, "Buy her for yourselves without money. Put your neck under the yoke and let your soul receive instruction. She is hard at hand to find. Behold with your eyes how that I have but little labor and have gotten unto me much rest."
Yeah, when you're thirsty, you don't know who you are, right? You cannot grow without water. You need water to grow. So being thirsty just means that you lack understanding of yourself. That's why in Ezekiel, like 37, it likens on human beings to dry bones, right? Or you're likened onto the dead, right? Our bodies are made up of what, 80, 90% water, right? So you have to be filled with that water.
It says, verse 28, "Get learning with a great sum of money and get much gold by her." And that's, that sum of gold is also going into you pretty much sacrificing, right? So it says, "Buy the truth and sell it not." How do you buy it? With your time, your dedication, your discipline to the wisdom. You can't just, "I want to get, I want to know this, I want to know that." And then when wisdom tries you, you fail and you fail and you keep failing, but you still want to get it. There's no point to your getting. Most sides of Mississippi go. You You have people like that, get, stuff it under the pillow. You don't even preach it, you know? Verse 29, let your soul rejoice in his mercy and be not ashamed of his praise. And that was it.
Yeah, wisdom.
Yeah. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 2, verse 1. For the ungodly said, reasoning with themselves, but not aright. Our life is short and tedious.
So this basically giving you the insight, the so-called white man, right? Who goes back to the seed of Edom, right? So the Most High is basically telling you how they operate mentally. All right, so it up again.
Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 2, verse 1. For the ungodly said, reasoning with themselves, but not aright.
It's not right. Okay, so that's a jump out of you. This man is off, man. Right? Everything he says, right, doesn't matter how good it sounds, it's off. Right? Because he's not based and he was risen up in truth. Right? It says the wicked are ashamed of the room as soon as he was born, well for telling lies. And that's going to the dark ages, man. Right? As soon as that man came out power out of that deep sleep for 1,000 years, right? That's why he makes up. That's why when he says on Big Bang Theory, once you're in your right mind, he said, "This nigga sleeping. This nigga just woke up." You know what are you talking about, right? So this is a blessing to have this truth being given to us. Like we don't deserve this truth, right? If everybody was, if you be honest with themselves, like why did the Most High chose us? We know we did it in our past lives before we were born again. True meaning of the word.
Straight mercy.
You know, doesn't mean we're submersed in some water, right? Literally, the water we were submersed in.
Remember, it goes into really nature of Esau.
Exactly.
Esau, because we were reading about him being profane.
Son.
Right, unless there be any fornicator or profane person such as Esau.
Right.
The hypocrite, right?
Right.
A godless person, gutless.
Yeah.
Gutless and godless, right? And profane.
Yeah.
What does the word profane mean? Outside the temple.
Right.
Right? So he can never be in the temple.
Yeah.
You know, in Revelations it says, for without are thieves, liars, animals,
Right.
pretty much beasts,
Mhm.
right? For without the court of the temple.
Right.
You know, and this man can never get it. That's why he became as king.
Mhm.
You know, that lineage died off, but he came back as Esau.
Right.
Mhm.
And that spirit was not right in him, man.
Right.
He's anti-righteous.
Yeah.
You know?
He
That's
rejects-
what it says.
No, it's okay.
It says as soon as he's born, they go straight.
Yeah.
As soon as they be born, they go straight. Speaking lies.
No, I'm just gonna take the spirit that's in him to reject the truth because his forefathers did that. If you really go into it, Cain and Esau were really brought up in the truth. Adam taught,
Of course.
right? Cain and Esau, right? They were actually the firstborn. They were heir to what we have now.
Of course.
Exactly. The Most High, it was in the spirit in the heavens how things would be set up.
Sure.
So the Most High put the spirit on him to reject the truth.
Mhm.
That's why he was spoken to like, yo, don't you have the understanding. You're the firstborn son. You know if you do wickedness, Satan's right there. And you know if you don't do it, or if you follow my rules, you're good. Why are you going around committing murder and then blaming everybody else and pointing hands at everybody else without looking at yourself? So he put a spirit on Cain to reject truth because the Most High set it up that way.
Same thing with Esau.
Yeah.
Same thing happened
Exactly.
with Esau.
And that's why when they're born now, coming out of the womb, they're completely astray because the spirit's already in you.
And Isaac, of course, taught Esau what to do and what not to do.
That's right.
You see?
Yeah.
But he second guessed, right? He second guessed. He wanted to know good and evil. But as a righteous man, right? You want to know what's wisdom, what's wise, the tree of life.
Right.
That's what we subscribe to. We want to know what's good. I don't care what's good and bad. I want to know what's good.
And he doesn't like the order.
God,
Esau,
because it's like,
Esau didn't respect his heritage.
exactly. He doesn't like exactly. I'm just gonna say that because you're right. If Isaac is teaching you from good and evil,
Mhm.
why would you want more?
Good.
So obviously you don't like order. You're like, you know what? My dad's teaching me all this. That's good. I'm gonna do it better.
Well, it says, what is thou to do to take up my statutes? See, now hatest instruction.
God.
Exactly.
So you had instructions. You had instructions.
Exactly.
Esau,
You like order, man.
he lied down with a Canaanite woman.
Yeah.
And
After his parents stole
So
his
Not
land.
to. Not to.
The man, the first thing,
The first thing you did.
his whole existence.
Yeah.
Whole
opposite,
existence.
total opposite.
This man can't get right. His whole existence tells you.
We can read this out quick.
Yeah.
So Psalm 14:1. To to the chief musician of Psalm of David, the fool has said in his heart, there is no God. Yahweh, they are corrupt, they have done abominable works, there is none that doeth good. And we know that fool is Esau, Edom. You know, most of all these Edomites, they don't believe in the Most High. They don't believe in a higher power. But if they do believe in a higher power, it looks like them, right?
Yeah, they can't accept
Canada, compared to the U.S., they're more godless than the American Edomite. So in Canada, these Edomites here, they can care less for God over here, man. Right? But even then, they're okay if Jesus looks like a so-called white man, even though they don't even believe in him. That's the pride of these devils, man.
Right.
You know? So
That's what it says in Jeremiah. Moses said, I'm against thee, almost proud.
Right.
Most proud.
Right? He says, is it the pinnacle, man?
Starting with the top family.
God.
Just so you got the top family of Judah.
Which why this man has to make laws to substantiate his movements, right? He has to make laws first and foremost, like to be civil towards you. He has to make laws. This is what wicked this man is to not kill you, right? Because his first thing is about killing and destroying. So laws are put in place where I say, hey, it's illegal to shoot someone in the face. Like, it is? Yeah, man, you can't do that. That's how this man has to operate. If there's no laws, to be no one left. Go to 11, verse 11.
Okay. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 2, verse 11. It says, let our strength be the law of justice.
See that? He says, let our strength be the law of justice. So everything he does, right, is based on his profane mindset, right? He makes laws for the most, right? He makes laws as concerning even food, like for you to make something that's good, right? Esau says the ingredients. You have to register with some company or some board.
FDA approved.
Yeah, if it's good, you ain't gonna make it nowhere, man. Why is red, blue? Yeah, put that in there. Anything for destruction.
And you know what? The strength too is also him being able to create laws. You're right. All the laws we already know he's gonna create some wicked ass laws, but the strength to go into a land and create the laws of the land. That's why he says, "Let our strength be." Because they have families that are into that. If you look at certain families, they have the 13 different families. Certain families are like allocated to one aspect of the economy: news, finance, education, like demons, like worshiping demons and stuff. Just like we have it. Levi's, the law giver, and you have Issachar for this. They have the same thing going on the left-hand side. So the fact that you can come into a land and create the law itself and control the finance. Man.
I tell you that a school, teach them that they're Africans. Make that a law. You have to go to school to learn that they're Africans. And we civilize them. They had bones in their nose and they're butt naked.
Yep.
And the man, he started saying his reason something that's not right. So either counsel that they have, we're going to tell these people, we're going to tell something, because Jake is out there that's seeking for the truth.
Yeah, you're African American.
You see? Right? When our people in the Bible denounced me, like Moses said, yo, don't call me that. When he was raised up into it, he probably had some African party and was as a youth.
Well, he knew he was
But he denounced it. So I think Moses, Paul, right? So don't mix me up with that, man. Just get it straight. I'm a Roman, call me a Canadian. Don't call damn African. It's what I'm saying.
Yeah, Hamites are the worst, man.
Oh, man.
The worst.
And then the Rastafari, they're pushing Rasta. What do you call them? Worshiping Selassie in Ethiopia.
Well, a lot of those Rastafarians and Jamaicans are actually Hamites because we sojourned among Ham, right? And so a lot of people in the Caribbean, they're not all the Benjamite or Israelites. A lot of them are, we sleep on the enemy. Your sister would marry a Hamite. And the seeds,
just like the wilderness.
Makes multitude.
Makes multitudes.
So it goes on both sides, and you have black Edomites, and you have white Israelites, whatever, man. It's all mixed up.
You have the tears, right?
That's right.
And the tears.
And that's why GMS we don't push that colorism. Like we understand it's a spiritual thing. So the most that's like Yahushua says in the wedding. He says, "Oh Yahushua, the mother said, listen, man, whoever's in here, that's what I'm dealing with. Right? That's what I care about." Don't come in. I'm a Rastafari. Hey, good for you, man. Praise all the Rasta. We're going to praise Yahweh Hashem Rashad, right?
And the only time we bring up color is like
indicator.
Indicator. African reference.
Right? And that's why ICPK, they push that thing where, you have to be, from Africa, because people is scattered there,
He said, oh,
right? So
he calls the ISDPK that they call like the Jakes over there in West Africa, they call it Hamites.
well, that's where they're going off, and that's where the doctrine is flawed, partly, right? Because the people, the Bible teaches that there's a scattering and was everywhere.
Four
Right.
corners.
So once we're not African, we mean we're not literal came out of Ham. Once we're not African, we don't mean that landmass. Because understand our people, you know, your people for your place,
And
right?
you don't know how migration works.
Con-
But they're supposed to be the
They're supposed to be.
They have the gauntlets.
They have everything.
So you know the
barbed wire.
And they have some good books too, but they don't know
They
history.
sit there, they do lessons,
Retards.
so they never heard of the Ashanti people.
Con- Or the places that Paul traveled to.
Con-
Paul traveled all over.
Yeah, like that little boy who was talking to Captain Cesaria.
Yeah.
And he was vibing, and
Yeah,
he
he was
goes, where are you
vibing.
from? And I think he said Nigeria.
Yeah.
You can't call that. Do a hand like.
That's right.
Yeah, that's
Hey, you know the boy.
yeah,
That
give the guy like a little, he's like a 11-year-old.
the boy was Jeremiah. You know what I
Could be
mean?
anybody.
It could be anybody, man.
And he was drunk.
Son.
At that age.
I could have a shot.
Wicked.
You'll know what happened.
You want somebody? Finish that, brother.
So, yeah, go ahead.
They have no flavor.
Okay, so verse 12, Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 2, verse 12. Therefore, let us lie in wait for the righteous, because he is not for our turn, and he is clean, contrary to our doing.
So who we consider righteous, we the ones who is pushing the truth, this truth, right? So the so-called woman knows that we're the righteous because what we subscribe to. Okay, nothing else is gonna make you more hateful, right? To a person that's doing wicked than when you do the right thing.
That's right.
It says, "Let us lay in wait." Keep reading.
Yeah, like when you go around niggas and they're passing you the blunt, you're like, no, I don't smoke.
God.
Wow, this guy thinks he's better than me.
That's it. Right away. Right away.
No, I don't eat pork. Stop. You tell them certain things and they look at you like you're strange.
God.
Yeah, come on.
I don't know. God, big simple, man. Smoke, man.
I'm not a police.
It's a light, you know. You do the right thing. It's a light, so it reflects on them.
They're in the dark.
That they're doing wickedness. You know, because everybody knows right from wrong. You know, it's just that people run from it, reject it, do all their kind of thingies, whatever. But when you say, you know, and I'm not smoking that blunt, and they're like, oh, what? You know what you're doing is wicked then. That's why you're off-putted by it. And you hate the person that's doing it. And you'll tell yourself everything else outside of the fact that, okay, what he's saying is right. Okay, you're fucking wicked.
The longer you've been in the truth, you're gonna walk in the room with wicked people, and they're gonna look at you like it's an opening scene of Blade.
Yeah.
They're gonna look at you like,
They're gonna wonder, how do they know?
you know?
Where are the daywalkers? Where are the daywalkers?
That's true. You're right.
Also, it's because they can't trust you because you're not like them. He's like, oh, I can't trust this guy.
They're not like
All right,
us,
just
but-
change it.
You can't trust it because
Why
like,
change it?
yeah, because like
You're like the light turning on.
exactly. A lot of those secret societies, they always want you to get dirt on you, so that now I can trust this guy.
Exactly, that's how it works.
Yeah.
That's exactly how it works.
Well, even in the
That's what the initiation is for, right?
Yeah.
Even for a gang,
yeah.
you gotta get initiated.
Exactly.
Well, on the contrary to that, we want to get dirt off you so we can trust you.
Exactly.
You see, we want to make sure you're washed by the word so we can trust you.
That's right.
Right? So you see, it's the opposite. You know, they want to get dirt on you so they can trust you. We say, hey, you know, let's see how dangerous this. You know, it's about dangerous or what?
How weak can this guy get?
God,
Let's
right?
get it on video. Let's get audio and
That's-
store it away.
That's them.
Yeah.
On the right hand side, we'll say, well, we want to see how clean this brother is going to get. Right? Put you in the spot. Say, hey, light on you, and you know, the light's on you. If the Lord deals with you, it'll shine.
Yeah.
You know, it reflect light.
And Esau is so proud that in the chapter we're reading, he says exactly what you're saying. Okay, if they want to say they're Israelites, they want to say how, okay, let's go.
Let it come out.
Let's do this.
Read, brother, read.
Yeah, go ahead. Somebody had a precept? Somebody had a precept or no? Okay, we're probably saying that. Good job.
This is the book about St. Mark chapter 8, verse 15. It says, and they charged them, saying, take heed, beware of the leaven of the Pharisees and the leaven of Herod. Like, so going to the basic, like, how these Edomites, you go to the school system, they teach about like all these false doctrine they show you. Then you go to Herod, Herod's actually a Nubian. Right? His father has to pay was a Nubian.
Yeah.
That's the same way, like, in school systems, colleges, they teach you, like, the wrong way. So it's supposed to take heed to the leaven of the doctrine. Like, their philosophies, okay, their ways of thinking.
Yeah.
Right. Same with like in these days, our people like they're lost in these of wickedness. They want you to be able to basically like kind of like basically like be cool to where like you could do things that they do, and if you don't do it, they don't seem to be cool, so to speak.
Mhm.
You
And I think also Apostle Kabbalah brings up that he brought a couple times that unleavened bread is actually healthier.
Unleavened, of course.
Yeah,
Mhm.
unleavened bread is healthier.
1,000%.
Because you got yeast there, and yeast is exactly what it is. It doesn't die, right? So it just keeps. So let's say it's people with beer bellies, because it's basic. It's a brewed in yeast.
It's parasites.
So your belly get bigger and bigger, and it's like beer belly.
And the worms can feed off of the yeast as well when it's inside of you.
Yeah, it's got mold in there.
Yeah.
Bunch of dead shit that's not going away. That's why it's beautiful. You do the purge. That's why the Lord has that spirit of doing the purge once a year.
That's so good for the body, man.
Leaven and yeast is pretty much in everything that you do.
Yeah,
Every day, pretty much.
It's
Pretty
in-
much.
it's
Unless
in the
they're-
air.
Unless they're very like.
Even
You
if
know?
when you're not, like you said.
And now everybody's talking about the 24-hour fast, how it
Yeah.
kills cells.
Yeah,
Most
yeah,
already has it in the Bible.
That was already there.
Everybody's that's what I'm saying.
The
There
ultimate one, too.
is no
It's a dry and.
dry and wet.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's dry fast.
Yeah,
You
because
don't want
they
to
say no,
go.
because they say no water is very beneficial and
Yeah.
obviously no food.
Mhm.
So they say there's no water, it's like a 10x, 10x boost.
Can you create your own water?
After a certain point, like you'll still keep eating, and you wonder why.
Oh, yeah.
Because you're creating your own
Because
molecular
remember,
water.
muscles is mainly water, it's not mass, it's
Yeah.
not tissue.
Right.
Muscle is mainly water.
Right.
Makes sense.
And you have a say like a little level is the whole lump, right? So like even a little bit of that level, like you could like corrupt your whole system. That was it.
That's a good reason why it's for 7 days, right?
Psalms 37, 35.
Psalms 37, 35. Yeah, this is
34.
Psalms 37, verse 34. Wait on the Lord Yahweh and keep his way, and he shall exalt thee to inherit the land.
Yeah, well, if you guys are by the window, you have to cover your
When the
mouth.
wicked are cut off, thou shalt see it.
That's right. So, which is what you see unfolding in front of you. Most I set up the wicked, right, for destruction, right? Because the wicked has shoot forth his branches for the whole world, right, and causing like his light, which is darkness, to be seen as truth. Okay, you agree?
Verse 35.
Which it is, because remember, they don't have the light. So when people who don't have the light, they have to figure out a way how to get knowledge. And the only other way to get knowledge, because if the world never found out about the left-hand path, they would only get knowledge from us. But there is more knowledge out there, but the only way to access it is through different means, right? You have something known as scrying, right? That's where Slick Rick said, mirror, mirror on the wall, right? Because you can scry or do witchcraft through a mirror. You can do witchcraft by dismembering birds. That's known as augury, right? There's different ways.
Yeah.
You also have gematria, which is numbers, right? You can go into numbers and be like, oh, today is March 1st, and every March 1st on this day at this time, this happens. Is that a knowledge? Yes, it is a knowledge. It goes back to the Kabbalah. That's where you people get the breakdown of Nero and the 666. That's gematria. That's how you know Nate is a Luciferian. Because if you push that in the truth, you're pushing gematria. Gematria is Jewish mysticism, which goes back to the Khazars. Why are you guys teaching that? So yes, the breakdown of Nero, Caesar, breaks down to 666, but he is not the
beast. Yeah.
He's not even a beast.
Yeah, he's not the beast.
The mindset of the beast.
But there's a lot of ways to gain knowledge. Is that not what Saul did?
Yep.
Saul stopped getting enlightened, and what did he do? He just turned to the left-hand side.
Yeah.
So you can get knowledge in different ways, but there's only one truth.
Exactly.
Keep reading.
So this is Psalms 37 and verse 35. I have seen the wicked in great power and spreading himself like a green bay tree.
So a green bay tree is basically, if you look it up, it's like it grows like really, really big, and it's basically it's a place for shadow. Like so, if you want like shade from the sun, you go in there, and so basically, so a white man has basically give his knowledge, right, and his understanding as where you go to for sustenance and for light.
Yeah.
Okay, but the shadow of the green bay tree, similar to the so-called white man, is blocking out the light.
Gone.
All right, and he can't get in. All right, read.
Verse 36. Yet he passed away, and lo, he was not.
That's right. So the Most High has basically sanctioned the so-called white man and his esoteric knowledge, right? His lies, his witchcraft, right, for destruction. So he's not. Okay, so there's no time I say, hey, what is such a thing as a Edomite? What is such a thing as white people?
That's right. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But the Most High is basically have him for this annihilation, man.
That's right, man.
So his knowledge is not the true knowledge. You reading?
Yeah, I sought him, but he could not be found. Mark the perfect man, and behold the upright.
That's right. So basically, as said earlier, like
Hey, hold on. Before you go on, remember, we tried to do it during the Dark Ages. We did try to breed Esau out, but we kept him hidden in the caves. But Jake in Europe, holy shit! That's why you have whole areas where it's only Jakes. But that's why when you go to Europe, you go to Poland, you go to Russia, you go to Italy. There's a lot of Israelites that are going to look like Edomites, but those are all Jakes, their lineage, because Jake went in for 1,000 years. Oh my gosh!
That's right.
Jeez.
Well, they have to make laws in the 1800s, miscegenation laws. Yeah, to outlaw white women with black men.
What was that law called? There was a law where you can't transport her across different states.
Manna.
The manna.
Good.
They say you're trafficking her.
That's right.
But she's a
That's right.
trafficker. Go to the next state.
They have those laws in Canada too against Jakes, because them Jakes, you bring a white woman to different provinces, they pull Jake down, especially if you're from Toronto, even though Jake is pimping them. But as soon as they see this white girl doing this black guy, nah, are you okay? Yeah.
Blink twice.
That's what Jake would say. You know what? You asked the wrong question, my nigga. Ask him to have a good time. I'm reading 11 again. Wisdom Solomon. Just essentially, what are we talking about?
Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 2, verse 11. Let our strength be the law of justice, for that which is feeble is found to be nothing worth.
That's right. So they see us, right? The Bible calls us the feeble, right? Because we're basically part of it. But Yahweh says, Jacob, you worm, right? A worm has no defenses. Hence, you're going to see him as feeble. You can't defend yourself.
Hence why he hides.
Yeah, in the ground.
And sometimes you ever see the rain and a worm is walking, right? Sometimes it's come by accident.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. God, you see. So the Most High is basically telling us how we should be in characteristic, as it pertains to how we maneuver in this world. Like we have no defense.
Right.
So he said, Jacob, shoot his mouth. If Esau wanted to,
you're done.
It's done. Done.
King Alfred's clan.
And he's licensed to kill.
That's right.
You're arguing with somebody with a license. You don't have a license.
God.
And a blessing.
God.
The
Right. There you go. The blessing.
He said,
Right.
how should I say, this is your blessing? Well, Isaac said, this is your blessing. And you're going to rule the world by this blessing. And you, Jason, anyways, man. Once this man comes down, man, you guys, you're going to hear scream, blood. It's going to be crazy because you didn't listen. You just didn't listen.
There's a place called Regent Park.
Oh, yeah.
Right? A place called Regent Park. Come on.
Huh?
A place before you're from out west, right?
Okay.
So a place called Regent Park where it's like a bad turf, like
Park.
whatever. Right? And Jake's and Jake's, if you're from this place, you can't go to this place. We just part, right? But Esau wanted. Esau came in with a cigarette in his sleeve and a thing, and was like surveying it like that. Move, nigga. You know. And if you're so bad and big and bad, you might have no weapons, you know, and you have to move.
So true.
You know what I mean?
So true.
Why are you so tough? Why did they tell him he can't just get turf? Because Esau showing, I'm a bad man. I don't want no gun. Move on the way, nigga.
And when I was a kid, I had to run out of that
God.
neighborhood
God.
because I had on blue, and I went to some part where a basketball court
God.
was, and there was like 100 men.
That's right.
And me and my friend look at each other and we said, "How did we get here?"
Yeah.
Yo, the speed in reaching. Yo, we had to run out of that.
Now it's gentrified. To show who the bad man is.
Audio built up everything, you know. That was
But there's
nice.
still, but there's still shootings over there. Yeah, drugs.
No, but that's not the point. The point of what the brother is saying is that Esau just goes and get out of the way.
Yes.
Doesn't he go down south?
Yep. That's right, you know?
That block shit is over.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like he said, they're only killing each other.
Yeah, you're right. Esau has VIP access to anywhere.
Yes.
You don't matter where it is. I mean,
South America, Jamaica.
That's right.
The
Anyway.
whole world.
Because last night I was watching Black Hawk Down. Like Esau went up in their neighborhood and just he didn't care. He just
Somalia? Was that Somalia?
Yeah.
Or Somalia.
Yeah. They couldn't tell him not to come in there, even though they were killing off Edomites. Okay, Esau's coming in with the weapons.
Yeah,
man.
they're a little bit more rebellious. The Cushites are more rebellious, but Esau still goes ahead. That's why they have those pirates.
Pirates, but he still fucks them up.
Oh my gosh.
They got everything.
They got guns on the ship now,
Yeah,
right?
they got everything. They got barbed wire candy going. But once they see them, they already have the protocol. You know, we start training. They have the training every month or whatever, every other week. You know, and then once they see them, they're ready.
Light them up.
Mission engaged.
Read this in the GNT, verse 11. It says, "We'll call ourselves right to their laws, if we are strong enough to get what we want." No one ever got anywhere being weak, and it's funny because he basically thinks righteousness is weak, but you have that spirit on you because you couldn't do it going back to Cain. You know when like somebody will denounce something and say it's bullshit just because they can't do it? That's Esau here. You know what I mean?
Right, but that is one of our weaknesses, right? Like as a people, that the nation's exploited. When you go into the book of Maccabees, with Judas Maccabees, that's what happened. Remember, they would attack him on the Sabbath. So our righteousness is our weakness. It is. To where people understand how they can use us and abuse us.
It's really us though.
Exactly.
Yeah,
But
it's
it's
really
gonna be our strength.
Yeah.
When we're perfect, that's your
Yeah,
strength.
yeah.
But I'm just saying though, the heathens know
You're
how to
right.
use it against us.
That's why Esau, when you look up pork byproducts or pork used in how many products, it's so
They're using it against
so
us.
because they know that that's a great sin. You know, so oh, my toothbrush has pork.
Bro, I used to remember I used to
Judas
kill
5 and 17.
the cheese chips. I used to
Con.
the cheese
Love
chips.
that. Yeah.
Mere foolishness.
Mhm.
I used to love that. I buy that all the time. Crazy, I love cheese.
And he's exploited, the sinful flesh. So it's exploited the sinful flesh, right? Because that's what he knows. He knows that we're not, that we just sin in the flesh. He knows that, but he's accepted it, and he's taken it upon himself. So that's why he'll get our people into rap music. He understands sin. He understands sin.
He's a man of sin.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
He
So
knows.
imagine if, let's say, these nations never saw us go off once. They'll still think we're gods, like going back, pre-flood. That, but because the Most High exposed us, man, I'm gonna expose you in front of everybody. You think you're you stripper and you beat her in front of everybody, everybody's looking at her shame. That's what he did to us. Shame. Shame. And that's the nation. The nation, you got stripped in front of everybody. The nation's like, shame. You say Yahweh wants shame. You serve Yahweh wants shame.
Yeah, because we thought we outsmarted him. Right? There was men that would have the sin offering ready, knowing that they're gonna do the sin. right? We thought we could outsmart them.
And that's your woman trying to pull a fast one on you.
Oh, yeah, that's
She's
true.
smarter than
I
you.
can't wait
Trying
for
to
them
go
to
out,
die.
delete the messages. Da, 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 da.
Yeah, exactly,
The same behavior.
that we did,
Exactly.
exactly, slick as fuck.
With that behavior, then
She wiped it to her mouth and said, I did nothing.
we're forgetting that the Most High is working for the man. The Most High is working for the man. So the Most High will give that man insight that she's doing something.
Yeah.
Yeah, in that situation, just like the situation with Chernobyl, the very end, the Most High sees everything you're doing.
Yeah.
So there's always an overseer seeing something.
Yeah, you're right.
The angels are around, give it insight to the man, yo, your woman's doing this.
Yeah.
And you're just like, and you go find it, like, what happened, man? It's because the angels guided you into that direction.
Oh, yeah, oh, yeah,
Like the thing, yeah, like my son, the book.
exactly,
Yeah,
yeah.
like you say, the spirit happened. You the book, I open it, see my name.
That's
Always.
what there's no point of doing that shit. Right? There's no point because Most High sees everything you're doing. So you're trying to outfool the Most High. You're actually the illusion.
That's why there's no point of getting mad either.
Yeah, exactly.
Everything will be revealed.
Yeah, exactly. Just gotta be
Don't
patient.
get mad at a bitch.
Yeah.
Go ahead, you just curse yourself.
And they feel it too when you do that because they're like, I feel like I know something. He's too calm.
Yes.
Why is he so calm? Because I already know the Most High's gonna. He has my back, so I just have to wait. He's gonna show me what I need to see.
And
I need
then,
to see it.
and then really, your judgment is really not supposed to argue. Our judgment for adultery is supposed to be, you know what. So since you can't do that,
Yeah.
then why argue?
Yeah,
exactly.
You're really arguing for naught.
Yeah, keep mouth shut. Just wait. Yeah, you're right.
Arguing is not her judgment.
Wait for judgment. Wait for judgment.
Read out.
This is Judith 5 and 17.
Ah.
15, I'm sorry, 17.
Yeah, do it there.
He said, and whilst they sinned not before their God, they prospered because the power that aided iniquity was with them.
Wow, that's a good one, man. These guys, they went into us. They studied us. Okay, you know, if they're doing good, we can't touch these guys. So we gotta get inside. We gotta pay people off. Get the high priest. Da, 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 da.
Whisper bullshit.
Exactly.
things.
Whisper. Yep. That's
Yeah.
right.
Create dissension.
That's right.
Isa does the same thing now where he hires Jakes in his companies. He hires Jakes and then he gets they tell him how to get their own people. Okay, do this, this music, talk about this, because if it was me, yeah, I would like to get to that. Right? So they understand the psychology of Jake.
That's right.
Well, there's not one group that they never infiltrated.
Exactly.
Not one.
Not one tribe.
Every single, no, I'm not even talking about the tribes, I'm talking about every group that Jake ever started.
Oh, okay.
Black Panthers or this or that, whatever group we start gets infiltrated.
True.
And it's usually infiltrated by either a black woman or a so-called black man, right? Like we all get infiltrated, the Mexicans, the Latino, whatever, like, them as well. Whatever we start that's supposed to uplift us, they're gonna infiltrate it.
You have the Latin kings.
Exactly.
They started out as quote unquote revolutionary.
That's exactly what it was.
And now they're just a street people.
What do you mean? That's exactly what it was. And look at them now. All they're into is witchcraft.
They got GOCC, an Israelite group. They got Edomites, like in the churches they had wrapped up.
And then here, they say that we got Edomites in JMS. And you can see that we got Edomites in JMS, but you can't see the name of the Lord. Are you fucking crazy?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, what does he mean by that? Is he talking about like
Edomites.
on the outward appearance?
Yeah.
Yes,
Of course.
Obviously.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of
No, that's
course.
true. That is, of course.
And then to the mere mortals, they think that Edomite is a white person.
Exactly.
That's the whole truth.
Exactly.
That's the story. Go ahead,
Yeah.
Verse 18. But when they departed, Judith 5, verse 18. But when they departed from the way which he appointed them, they were destroyed in many battles. Very
Remember,
short.
Yahushua is the way, right? And John 14:6, right? So when they departed from Yahushua, by his truth, his understanding, what was given to us, right? That thereby we get destroyed. Keep reading.
Yeah.
And
that's now. Back then, it was just simply the laws. That's why Yahushua was needed. It was like if we get these guys to go off on the laws, we get them to turn away from the Lord by going off the laws, they're finished. And you would have Jake that would hide, that one Jake that hide the gold, and the Babylonian garment, because usually when you go to war, your pay is what you take from the enemy, right? But that was a different kind of war where the Lord's like, no, take no pay from here.
Yeah, pretty much. He said, don't take any spoil.
Exactly.
No booty. You better
Yeah.
destroy and burn everything.
Yeah.
Same thing with the Canaanites. He said, don't leave their altars. Don't leave anything. Just destroy it all.
Yeah.
But Jake still, they kept that some back. They said, no, they can be tributaries.
Yeah.
They kept those Canaanites there, and then that's when their woman, they started dealing with their woman. And that's the main link, like you're saying, Balzar, about teaching Jake certain ways and using devices,
Yeah.
like rap or drugs or women,
Yeah.
right? That's why the men sinned with the Ammonite, with the Baal pure, sin of Baal pure,
Yeah.
which is fecal ceremonies.
Yeah.
You deal with fecal matter.
Yeah.
That's what those guys require,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? But the Ammonite woman, they seduce them.
Yeah. And now going to what I was going to say, when you said Yahweh Shai, now you can't do that because even if Yahweh Shai, what Yahweh Shai did already sealed the deal. That's why he came.
Yeah.
Because we couldn't get it right. So now those men that are sealed, they're sealed in the spirit. So nothing you can do to trip them up anymore where we can be cut off from the Lord again. So what Yahweh Shai did is super important. These guys, they can't see that way. So that's why some men are going to be put to death. They're going to go that far. But then some men are going to have standards where spiritual power, and you're going to know, okay, he's with his power because he's doing powerful things.
Yeah, add to what you're saying. Also, that's why he says the carnal man. So that he understands the flesh. So that's why back in those times, the liability for Israel was the flesh, right? Because they had the laws, but because you're in the flesh, you're gonna. It's just something's gonna happen. You're gonna go off, right? So that's what we were saying. That's why Yahushua had to come,
Right.
and show. He did it perfectly in the flesh, but it goes beyond the flesh.
Exactly.
Right. So now Esau can't. He can't get the elect because
That's
it's not in the flesh. It's not a carnal thing anymore.
And there's no temple to destroy.
Yeah.
Remember, they would always ransack the temple because that's where we communicate with the Most High. The temple now is the house of David, the whole full life.
Mhm.
So yeah.
So those things you're doing with like the pork and all that stuff. Yeah, brother's gonna go off, but hey,
Right.
you just repent back to the Most High. That's it. You're back on the path again.
Yeah. It's already-
So Esau, you lost, man. You can't do anything to it. Like,
Yep. That's right.
Judith 5:18, it says, but when they departed from the way which he appointed them, they were destroyed in many battles very sore, and were led captives into a land that was not theirs.
And the battle is going into the wrestling from the beginning. Esau and Jacob. It came with WWE, man. World was an Edomite, the world being us. You know what I mean? So from the womb, there's a tussling, a fight for rulership. Okay, so that's what you see playing out right for your eye now. Is it going to be righteousness going to reign, or is it wickedness going to reign? But according to the scriptures, we know that the righteousness is going to encompass the wickedness and get rid of it, right? And that's what you're seeing happen right now. As simple as you see this, as just some black guys meet up on Saturday, talking some madness. You're glossing over what's true and what's to come. Long hidden, right? This mystery is now being unfolded, right? To be what's even a mere mortal can understand right now, man. Right? They dealing with immortals, right? We're still to be immortals, man. That's why the Bible speaks about regeneration, reincarnation. We're old spirits, man. Right? We're from the beginning, right?
And those were, those are also actual battles they would lose.
God.
Back then, that's how you move, right? You want to take over the land, you have to go to actual war. And now you Jakes are talking about going to war with Esau. And when that happens, you're gonna be the same Jakes that wanted to go to war. Remember when Moses said, "Don't go and war against these guys." That they were spewing bad report, and they're like, "We're not gonna go up in that land." And then they were catching hell, and they're like, "You know what? We went off. Let's go back and fight." And Moses said, "No, don't go back." The Lord said, "You're not gonna win." They didn't listen to Moses. They went and they lost the fight. So you guys, basically, you're gonna be in a state of rebelliousness and try to take matters to your own hands, just like those same Israelites did before, and you're gonna lose the fight. Because this is not about fighting carnally. It's about obedience. You can't just disrespect the prophets and go do your own thing.
Ephesians 6.
Right?
that's all order.
Okay, precept. This is Matthew 13, read 10, 11. It says, and the disciples came and said unto him, why speakest thou unto them in parables? Right? Verse 11. He answered and said to them, because it is given unto you to know the mysteries of the kingdom of heaven. So I'm gonna click on the word mysteries, blue letters, and mysterion, it's it's for my thing, so.
Yeah, it is.
Hold on
I got one.
there. Eh?
I just
Too many people?
Oh, yeah, there's a lot of people on it.
Hold on, let me-
He's a bigger brother.
Chief.
No, it's the modem is an older one.
Because they're using the Wi-Fi for the live stream, no?
That's true.
No, I'm using my
No,
phone.
no.
No?
I'm using it.
I'm using my data.
Oh, no, my phone is.
Yeah, you're using the Wi-Fi.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying.
So it says mysterion, the brother Bradley said. The first one, it says hidden thing, secret, mystery. And it says generally mysteries, religious secrets, confided only to the initiated, right? So the one, I remember it's away from the beginning, initials, we're the initial beings that was created, hopefully, and not to ordinary mortals, right? So this truth is not for the ordinary mortals, man. Okay, this is for the immortals who were from the beginning, man, and it's mainly the 1/3 and the 144,000 on this side. Of course, in the kingdom, we all come back. The Bible, it was prophesied that the old Israel shall be saved. Okay, but we're not dealing with all Israel right now. I think they got to wait for Puff Daddy, who's now, I don't know. Allegedly, he's now being looked at for child sacrifice and necrophilia.
Oh, yeah, it's right. Oh, yeah.
You see,
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I heard about that. Yeah, you're right.
So that
The truth is coming out.
done.
Yeah, man.
So that's I don't be waiting for him. He ain't my brother.
No, no, it's not.
Go ahead. Brother, you got brother love, yeah. Love to the wickedness. Yeah, go ahead.
Precept on that, because this is very important. Because you went into the parables, that's our power talking, man. You're not looking at, you may appear to be the normal people, but we're gonna see what the scripture says. This is wisdom of Solomon, Sirach, 18:27. It says, a wise man will fear in everything. See, that's the difference between us and you. Okay? We fear Yehovah Shem Yoshai.
Right.
Simply put, man, you guys you just want to be wicked. And it is what it is. We didn't set that parameter. The Lord did. That's why brother read that precept. It goes on to say, and in the day of sinning, all right, he will beware of his offense. So simply put, we have a representation that represents us when we go off. When we go to him, right? As the Spirit bear witness to us. Simply put, right? Okay, and then it goes on to say, but a fool will not observe the time. See, so that's the thing, right? Few people don't know what time we're in, right? You're looking for some strange signs, and the signs are the sign that you're supposed to get is right before you in regards to the truth, right? So he goes on to say this, verse 28: every man of understanding knoweth wisdom. See, so in this time, right, in the Lord's time, at the end, right? Hey, you're looking upon us as widows, right? But that's wisdom speaking to you, right? And you see the strange things. And as the brother mentioned earlier on in regards to how you look at us, all right?
No, because I just read it that they can't even see, that they're blind. It wasn't even given unto them.
That's right. It says, and will give praise unto him that found her. See, so that's the separating, that's what separates us, man.
Hey, because remember, when you don't get something, it's frustrating.
That's right.
Like when you're not understanding something, you're trying something, you might be doing it over and over, it can be frustrating. So you can just imagine how these people feel that, like, we said earlier that we're nobodies and we have this scholarly knowledge and we have abundance of it, and they can't even get a drop of it. Not even a drop.
That's why they hate
And
us.
our cup overflows with
That's it.
knowledge.
He says in Sirach 1, he gave wisdom, but he poured it on them that love
Did
him.
brothers ever go on their channels and see how much videos they made? Some brothers have 300, 400, 500, 600, 700 videos. That's your cup overflowing. That's knowledge, man. That's not no joke, man. That's serious.
Most people are like in that torture, where there's a torture where they make you drink water and you just have a drop.
Yeah, just a drop. Yo, that shit can fuck you up, man. Just that one.
Yeah.
The truth is concentrated. You know, you gotta take a little bit at a time. Right? Even if you ain't going to the doctor, to the hospital, and IV, they don't squeeze it into because it's essential nutrients, man. Right? The Bible refer as a salt, right? And that's what it is. It's salt of the earth. So it's, saline is basically salt water, man.
Yeah.
Right.
One more verse. It was basically broken down. It says, they that were of understanding in sayings became also wise themselves and pour forth exquisite parables. Hey, that's why we do those videos. Prophesy again, right? This thing is finished. You see, so all those things that you guys see, all the videos that come out and those are testimonies. Hey, and they're parables.
That's right.
Right? And you can't get the answer unless you talk to one of these men.
Hey, that's why these guys are going against Paul. They're going against Paul because when you're in this truth and you reach a certain level, this truth is now going to be a part of you. You brothers, younger brothers that first come into the truth, you know what you brothers do? You stick to the scriptures, which is righteous. Somebody that's been in the truth for 10, 15, 20 up, do you know what they start to do? They start to speak the scriptures. They can reference everything with truth. And that's what Paul did. Paul was living truth. Everything that came out of his mouth was a reference to truth. That's not what Paul's saying is just his opinion. It's just his, well, guess what? A righteous man advice is still righteous.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what happens when you're in this truth for long. It just becomes a part of you.
Yeah, and then you equate it to like you said, like Abishai would equate this knowledge to the simple things.
Allegories.
The garden, the thief, the robber. Like you said, you speak the truth, you see it in everything.
In everything.
Everything.
Yeah. So,
I got one real quick.
Okay.
That was it?
Yeah, that's it.
This is Romans 8:35 in the NLT. It says, can anything ever separate us from Yahushua's love? Does it mean he no longer loves us if we have trouble or calamity, or are persecuted, or hungry, or destitute, or in danger, or threatened with death? As the scriptures say, for your sake we are killed every day. We are being slaughtered like sheep. No, because so I can know, despite all these things, overwhelming victory is ours through Yahushua who loved us. And I am convinced that nothing can ever separate us from the Most High's love, neither death nor life, neither angels nor demons, neither our fears for today nor our worries about tomorrow.
Yeah, which goes back to what the brother Kazak was saying, that some spirits were created from the beginning, right? So now that you're back again, well, guess what? You can't separate that spirit away from the creator, because they were literally created just to serve him.
They're stuck like Velcro.
They're stuck like Velcro.
Come from the Most High.
It says, not even the powers of hell can separate us from the Most High's love.
Yeah, not even all these different generations. Those men have been through generation after generation, this rulership, that rulership, and throughout they always tend to find
The Lord.
Yahweh
Yeah,
again.
And certain men got killed, so that means they might have not have children, so their lineage is killed.
True.
They come back in a different.
They're coming back.
Right,
Yeah,
so
Khan.
prophets that were
Khan.
killed.
Yeah,
Come.
scriptures tell you that. Yeah.
Maybe that's why you didn't get along with your family.
It says, no power in the sky above or in the
Paul
earth.
never had a woman.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? But we know he's back.
It says, no power in the sky above or in the earth below. Indeed, nothing in all creation will ever be able to separate us from the love of the Most High that is revealed in Mashiach Yahushua.
And that separation is going into knowledge, wisdom, and understanding as well. Because you can't separate something that has been downloaded into us now. So when Esau's threatening us with, you know what, deletion, because we won't take the MOTB, well, sir, guess what? I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm good. And now when the internet shuts down, that's why it's important for brothers to learn this truth now. Because when the internet shuts down, when these things called your cell phones are no longer working, do you still have the truth? Some of you guys only have the truth because of the cell phone or because of your laptop. Are you going to still have the truth after everything shuts down? Are you just a 5G Israelite?
Is that 4K?
Yeah.
Hey, that's a topic right there. That's 5G Israel.
The word separate in the Greek is chorizo, which means to separate, divide, part, put asunder, to leave a husband or wife, to divorce. Right? So you can't divorce the elect from Yahweh.
Exactly.
You can't disannul that marriage. There's a marriage that's getting ready to happen. Right? So even some men are going to die, they're going to be risen up.
Mhm.
Okay, they're going to be, riding shotgun in the chariots. The spiritual bodies already. Right? And so nothing can separate.
Nope.
Nothing, man. Nothing you cannot disannul this marriage, man.
Hey, it's like in the scriptures, it talks about if a woman is, if a man is trying to rape a married woman and she doesn't scream, well, we're the married woman that Esau's trying to fuck with, and we're screaming.
That's right.
Nah, bro, we're not down with what you're doing.
That's right.
You ain't gonna choke me.
Hell.
I ain't bending over for this.
We've refused that thing, right? The jump shot.
The joke.
Yeah,
The joke.
straight. We're not getting joke.
We didn't want that. There's thing we'd have to put in the chat, but let's continue.
Who had a precept?
Well, we didn't refuse it yet. We don't know yet. You know what I mean? We're
Yeah, that was
about
the first stage. But
the first stage. Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. Slovakia. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, there was a video I found, but I didn't put it in the chat yet. I have to put it in the chat.
Go ahead.
It's like I mean, I also to the elders, point, even like Nathan Calder, like even like the guy, Nathan, like the guy being right to GMS. So because somebody look like a certain color, that doesn't mean that nation. So Nathan Calder is not separate us from the Yahweh Shai.
So the IRC,
Exactly.
the IRC, like they only have so-called Negroes
Yeah.
and Latinos,
So
but he doesn't really push like IRC, like these white-looking J. They don't want that.
But we don't know who has the Tawa. So that color thing is going on.
It's crazy.
complete nonsense, man.
Jeremiah 2:13 says, "For my people have committed two evils. They have forsaken me, the fountain of living waters, and hewed them out cisterns, broken cisterns that can hold no water." So I read that because we were talking about the Israelites that get frustrated, right? And the reason why is because their cistern's broken. So you can give them the truth as much as you want, but it's going to pour out.
Yes.
You actually can't hold it.
Exactly.
So I've seen it where you tell them and they want to get it and they can't.
Exactly.
They get very angry because you have it.
It's like a wall. It's a staring at a wall.
Yeah.
Right? But it's an angel. The angel's blocking.
Exactly. So when you, it's just the same thing the elder said about being a 5G Israelite. In a way, you're using the 5G as a way to kind of like a band-aid to your cistern. So when the 5G's gone, that's gone. Is your cistern like whole? Is it sound?
Exactly.
Right? Because if it's not sound, then everything's gonna pour right out. It's gonna go with the 5G. So then when everything goes to crazy and you don't have the truth, it's because you actually didn't fix your cistern. Because that's the whole point. You gotta fix it. Yeah, because you come into the truth. Everyone came from the world. You were broken, right? You were broken. You came to the truth, and the truth is supposed to heal you, supposed to fix you, right? And while you're going through your walk, the water's filling into you, and then you're holding in, you're studying, everything like that. So during that time, you have it, right? Because you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, whatever that is for the brother, right? So yeah, exactly. So those people that don't do that is because you weren't really a follower of Yahweh Shai. You're just kind of putting on a performance. You're a hypocrite.
It says that Sophia will flee an undisciplined soul. So, all right, you're in it now. And then once that time comes, Sophia's like, fuck that. It's a spirit. It's a real living entity. It understands minds and all that. So it'll just, nope, you're not one of Yahweh Shai's.
So it's just like at work when you're during a probation period, right? The boss is there. He's like, okay, I get it. You're coming to the job. You're new. Right, I'll help you. Blah 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 blah. But when there's a time when it's done, okay, you see what you can do.
Yeah.
And if you weren't listening, you weren't taking it seriously. They're like, oh, this guy wasn't listening. Fire his ass.
Yeah,
Get rid of him. Get rid of him.
I have a precept.
Con, I got something after you real quick.
1 Corinthians 2:14. But the natural man receiveth not the things of the spirit of power,
That's right.
for they are foolishness unto him.
Yeah, that's right.
That's going into Esau's birthright. So I'm gonna get what? I'm hungry. You know what I mean? Where's that microwave? Throw a minute rice in Uncle Ben's minute rice in there. I'm hungry right now.
Talking about you're on the health journey. That's no, I see a lot of health people doing
God. Yeah, man, right.
Enjoy with minute rice in the microwave, and it's already in the plastic.
Good. Right? So it's true. Most of that food is derision, man. You know, and they think what they're doing is, you know, like Esau thought what he was doing was like, he's a natural man, the carnal man, man. You know, we know that you know, I'll wait, you know, because this truth requires patience and suffering. So the hunger, you know, it will be fed, but hey, it's on the Abashman's time, right? You can rush, you know, everything's on time, man. You know, even though we're saying hasten the day, right? That's a righteous thing to hasten the day. Why? Because we hate this rulership of wickedness. That's it.
Hey, and you got to look at it like, hey, I'm not an 11th hour Israelite. There is going to be 11th hour Israelites, people who the Most High just wakes up, bomb, right? Obviously, that's a blessing for them.
Yeah, they don't even know the truth yet.
Exactly.
We
But
know it now.
people who have woken up and have to stay on course, that's just your lot.
That's it.
It's just your lot.
I ain't complaining.
No,
I'm not complaining, man. Don't get twisted. We love it.
And you don't want to leave it to chance.
Exactly. That's the point. If I had to get it in whenever I got it, perfect. Can't leave it to chance.
And that's why you're being wicked. If you think, wait, maybe I was right. Maybe I'm not supposed to wake up yet. I don't know what the word is.
Yeah, let me go back to the world. Yo, I'll take you guys back in 5 years. I'll peep what's going on in 5 years.
Jack up.
Yeah, be right back. Be right.
That's what these messages.
You know, like when you go to the store and it says out for lunch. Yeah.
You make your point?
No, I think.
You had
You had a priest.
You had a priest of
Yeah,
that.
he was done?
No,
No, I said that.
Yeah, go ahead.
Neither can he know them because they are spiritually discerned. But he that is spiritual judges all things, yet he himself is judge of no man.
Wow.
And who fulfilled that? Who fulfilled that? Yahweh Shai. That's why they couldn't get him. They asked him, you know, the religious law was like, all right, I'm mastering it, you know, because the Pharisees found out that he shut up the Sadducees. And they're like, okay, let's bring a master in the law. He asked what's the greatest law, and Yahweh answered the 2 laws. And Yahweh gave him another question. He said, who's the son of David? Who do you think King Solomon is the son of? Because David called him my Lord. So that Yahweh fulfilled that. They said try to come at him, but they were naturally minded Israelites.
Like Nate.
Like Nate. But he was a spiritual man, and he was judging everything, and he was judge of no man other than the Most High.
That's right.
You know, so he fulfilled that, and then the elect are going to fulfill that too, right under him.
Last verse. For who hath known the mind of the Lord that he may instruct him? But we have the mind of Hamashiach.
You see, that's so I just told you it was Yahweh Shai.
The order.
Exactly. It said, who has the mind of the Lord? And it says, but we have the mind of Yahweh Shai. So Yahweh Shai had the mind of the Lord.
That's right.
That's just in the question.
Exactly.
And it's in Revelation because when we're being supped with, we're being supped with by Yahweh Shai. Not the spirit of Yahweh hasn't descended upon nobody for a long time.
That's
For
right.
a very long time.
2,000
So
plus
no
years ago.
brother in GMS has the spirit of Yahweh. When you're in the spirit of Yahweh Shai.
Showing you levels, man.
It's levels, man.
It's crazy.
So that means we got, just like the brothers always say, there's so much more for us when the spirit of Yahweh was dealing with it.
Bro.
It said, when Moses' face was shining, that was through Yahweh.
Yeah. They had to put a veil.
Yeah.
It was literally shining.
Yeah, and he didn't know. Like they had to tell him, you put a veil, like you know. And they would
Could you imagine the knowledge then?
Man.
Jeez.
Remember, he wrote what he gave us in those first 5 books was not only summarized, but it wasn't the whole thing.
No.
Yeah.
And there's certain things that he will never speak of.
Yeah, we'll get in the kingdom.
But there's certain things that Ezra wrote
Yep.
that
And
couldn't
then
reveal to people. There's certain things that John wrote.
Wow.
Yep.
The angel said,
Don't write
he
this.
heard the 7 thunders and he couldn't record it. He said, don't write it. Right? So, and how many more we don't know about. Right?
Well, that's much thing that Yahweh did. All the books in the world can contain them. So why do you know that?
Yeah,
Exactly.
It couldn't.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So what is that?
These
Right?
people can't even digest the chariots.
Come on.
So why would you give them more?
Yeah. So that story I was bringing up earlier about Israel rebelling, this is just a story I want to get for edification. Get in the NLT real quick. So it says Israel's rebellion against the Lord. It says, but you rebelled against the command of the Lord, Yahweh, your power, and refused to go into the land. You complained in your tents and said, the Lord Yahweh must hate us. That's why he has brought us here from Egypt.
Yeah, which links up with Malachi 1.
Right.
Brought up.
Right. And that's how you Israelites, you 2/3 are going to look at the prophets. You think we hate you because we're telling you to get up out of Egypt. You know? It says, to hand us over to the Amorites and to be slaughtered. Where can we go? Oh, brothers. Where can we go? Our brothers have demoralized us with their report. False teachers. That's what you're doing. 1,000 years. The MOTB is not the MOTB. You know, everything. You're demoralizing Israelites that belong to somebody else. Can you imagine the judgment? Man, it's going to be some serious killing how it's going to do. You have a child.
Yeah, because it says, if you love me, feed my sheep. So if you lead away his sheep,
that's
to cause
money.
his sheep to go astray, you're done.
That means you hate him.
Yeah,
that means you hate him.
Right. It's like it's the equivalent of robbing someone out of their business.
Yeah, come on.
Deuteronomy 1:28. So it says, where can we go? Our brothers have demoralized us with their report. They tell us the people of the land are taller and more powerful than we are. And that's why what we're saying is outrageous.
Which they are physically.
Yeah, and they are.
Yes.
And that's why that's why it's beautiful. It takes faith because so is Goliath.
Yes.
And so on and so forth.
So on and so forth.
The guy who no, he had yeah, that's a spirit. That's a spirit. Yeah, he had 3,000 men. What was his name again? Gideon. 3,000 men together that he stormed up to war against, I think, 10,000 men. And then the Most High, you know what?
Cut it down.
Cut that to 300. 300 men versus 10,000? 300. Bro, the Most High really wants to stunt. He's like, nah, man, watch. Because he even said, if I let you go with 3,000, Israel will think that they did it. I'm going to give you next to nothing so you can't deny who did it.
And then the way he did it was he said the men that go drink the water like a dog.
Right.
Lock it up.
Right.
Which is spiritual too. The dog.
Con.
Some Bruce Lee shit, man. Like, hold it.
Yeah.
Go get him.
Yo, 300 men versus 10,000. All those men had a serious spirit on them to look at 10,000 men down the line. Yeah, we're going to take all of them out.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's serious.
That's 300 before they actually.
300.
Exactly. They had the same spirit that we've seen. They're like, yo, I don't care.
Yeah.
Okay, well, they were the same people.
Yeah, that's what.
Yeah.
If I can add on,
Yes.
Yeah.
the Lord has 144,000 men reserved, right?
Yeah.
These other nations, they'll have like 1 million man
Oh,
standing
yeah.
army.
Oh, yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Like, trying, just armed, ready to go.
They got AI.
Yeah.
Ready to
AI,
go
robots,
yeah.
drones, right?
Yeah.
So it's like the Lord, he doesn't need, it's no, strength in numbers.
No.
Less is more, is plenty of us. You know?
Exactly.
That's how the Lord operates, like to show his power, right?
And that's what the prophet said. There's more with we than with them.
Yes. The chariots.
But they couldn't see it.
Couldn't see it.
Couldn't see it.
Which means the reason why the Most High sets it up like that because he wants you to have faith. If what's the point of having faith if you already set up? The scripture tell you what faith is. If you can see it, you can map it out in your mind. You're not going to believe it.
And we all have guardian angels, but some brothers' guardian angels are no joke.
Serious.
Some spirits are greater than other spirits.
Yeah, you're right.
Right? Some angels are not. All angels are not on the same level.
Yeah, and that angel has to match that prophet's temperament.
Damn.
So you're right. So like Jonah's angel, you can imagine he's a stubborn prophet. And his angel has to be very stern.
Yes.
He's set up with Jonah.
So true.
You know,
Got to know how to break him.
David's angel.
When he was a boy,
Yeah,
wrestling,
yeah, getting out of.
When you read in the Josephus, it goes into a little detail about how the sheep was taken by the lion, and he went to get the sheep back, and then the lion pounced on David, but David took him by the tail and pounced him on the ground. He just took him like in the cartoons, he just bam, bam.
Bro,
That's a heavy spirit.
Yeah, that happened by himself. So that was like
As a boy,
yeah, it increased his faith. So then when he came to Goliath, he's like, what?
This ain't shit.
Yeah, let's go. I already did a lion, a bear. What do you mean?
Lions are
Yeah,
bigger.
yeah.
You know, animals are bigger back then.
Way back.
Way bigger.
If a lion hits you like now, like
360.
one, well, I'm saying when it pounces on you,
Oh, okay.
it knocks the wind out of you. You're done.
That's a bounce.
And that was spiritual too, because he became the sheep herder.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah.
When you take a prey away from a lion,
Bro, that's.
it's agitated.
Yeah, he's agitated. Yeah. That's what hyenas do, but yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
They don't eat every day.
Yeah.
They don't, that's what I was about to say, they don't eat every day.
So I'll finish this up. So it says, where can we go? Our brothers have demoralized us with their reports. They tell us the people of the land are taller, more powerful than we are, and their towns are large, with walls rising high to the sky. We even saw giants. They're the descendants of Anak.
Yeah, woe to them that go down to Egypt for help.
That's right.
Right, so yes, it's true, these people are taller, they're stronger than us, but guess what, we have the Howard Hashem Shana.
That's right.
That's right.
And then all they do is taunt the Lord more. Oh, you have a sky daddy.
Yeah,
You
kinda.
guys have this, you have this.
Just like Goliath.
You know, like all talking all this shit.
It says
No.
yeah, it said the weapons of our warfare is not carnal, right? The house ain't carnal. And that's
And we don't even understand that yet,
God.
because we're not even in the time of our spiritual blessings, even though we do have spiritual power already
I know what you
through
mean.
the truth.
Yeah.
We already have it,
Yeah, it's
but
gonna
we don't
manifest.
have it
I know what you mean.
yet.
Yep.
But spiritual brothers are strong, man. Like I hear it, I see it. We don't have the full potential,
Yeah.
right? Even just like you mentioned, patience. Patience is a spiritual blessing.
Yeah.
It's not just a regular thing.
Yeah.
Faith is also a spiritual blessing. So we're starting to get these things.
Well, Yahushua came with spiritual power.
Yeah.
In a carnal body.
Wow.
The Lord trusted it.
You're right.
He could've- he
Woo!
could've just-
Woo! Isn't that what you said?
You're right.
You said that.
You
It's
said
like,
you
yo, I
did.
can call this
That's
one.
Yeah.
why- you know?
Yeah.
That's why that's why a lot of times he just did his own thing.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh yeah, remember he disappeared?
Wow.
I mean, he just went to a quiet place and just
Dude.
want to be away from people
Wow.
because people agitate him.
He might. Yeah.
My-
Flesh.
Yeah.
Just let me get away from you.
And they were trying to push him off the mountain.
You said that the angel that's controlling his brother's spirit has to be a strong angel, right?
Yeah.
So Yahushua hit the back of Moses. You know?
Right.
So only he can control it. Yeah,
That's true. That's true. That's true.
Because he thought about it. He said, "One that can duck."
And even one time they fell back, right?
Yeah. I am he.
Yeah.
They hit him in the force, man.
He probably use,
Yeah,
some
man.
strength when he turn the money changer.
Got it.
Something like that. You know,
Got it.
like,
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
He said he whipped him.
Yeah.
He took the, you know.
Yeah.
That goes into like that saying that says, like with much power comes much responsibility.
Yeah.
Right. So like when I think it was Peter when he was with Yahushua, he smote that centurion's ear
Yeah.
because he said like, yo, it's not time for that right
It was
now.
an Israelite. The ears he took off was
Was it
an
Israelite?
Israelite. Look it up. I'll tell you, it was an Israelite.
Con.
Right?
He was a priest.
Yeah, because like you said, Yahushua could have just he could have wiped everyone out. It's like, yo, it's not time for that right now.
Right.
Put your
He's
sword
being
down.
very you're showing like, yo, you have the power. It's not you gotta be responsible. It's
Yeah.
not time right now. You gotta be patient.
Imagine me how I would have been like, con.
Yeah, I know.
Peter was ah! That would have been a master.
Peter went out.
Oh,
Yeah.
Guess
But
who would have
then
won?
he made a good point because he said, "He who lives by the sword,
By
will
the
die
sword.
by the sword." So a good point was made,
Yeah.
and it's very true.
And that's really for us now in this time.
It's really for us right now.
Yahushua's telling you.
Yeah,
Back then, everybody had sword.
Oh, yeah.
Con. It wasn't like, yeah, you're right.
And it's a temptation too. It's a temptation to kill you.
It's a false,
It's a lot-
and it's a false security. You might feel
Yeah.
a little more
It's a
secure.
false security. It is. I know it's a false security. Yeah, man. It's 100% a false security.
Scriptures also say, Yahushua said, if this kingdom were mine, my servants would fight.
Yeah,
Yeah.
con.
Man.
Jeez.
Yo, so verse 29, Deuteronomy 1 and 29, it says, but I said to you, don't be shocked or afraid of them. The Lord Yahweh your power is going ahead of you. He will fight for you just as you saw him do in Egypt. So that's why we don't gotta fuss or worry, even though it might happen in the flesh, but you overcome it through faith. because the Most High is already predestined. Everything's already written. It's already written. They're gonna lose. You know, I'm already going ahead of you, like he did with I think the mulberry trees. Who was that? What king was that? He's like when you hear the ruffling in the mulberry trees, then you go and fight against these guys because the angels had went already and took a couple people out. But going on, it says, verse 31. And you saw how the Lord Yahweh your power cared for you all along the way as you traveled through the wilderness, just as a father cares for his child. Now he has brought you to this place. But even after all he did, you refuse to trust the Lord Yahweh your power. Who goes before you looking for the best place to camp, guiding you with a pillar of fire by night and a pillar of cloud by day?
Hey, and we need that now because we can talk all the shit we want about Esau, but we can't defeat their army. We can't defeat their navy. We can't defeat the Marines. And they didn't even send the drones yet. They didn't even send their robots yet. Those are all serious people. Every man that I just mentioned are serious killers, trained killers. They'll pick you off from 1,000 yards. The men don't play. The men are training right now as we speak.
Like that guy did a video on, he was in special
forces.
Yeah. And this guy gets nostalgia. He gets like a dopamine game. We think of the good old days. He's like, it doesn't matter who you brought, man. Just bring everybody. We'll kill them all.
Exactly. It's true.
Just kill them
They'll
all.
kill everything, man.
Someone's like, what's the opposite of PTSD? This nigga loves it. And that's Esau.
That's Esau. He loves it, man.
It's not Trump. It's not like that movie American Sniper.
Yeah.
Flashbacks. No, his flashbacks are
He's happy. He's happy. He's happy.
You know?
That guy is probably maybe a Jake then.
No, he goes to Psalm 17 and 13. Which is that story?
Yeah, that's Esau, man.
Esau right there.
No, Jake gets bugged out.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Jake gets bugged out, PTSD and shit. 'Cause like, why am I doing this?
This guy had the opposite of PTSD. He has
Right.
fond memories.
Right. Esau, he lives for this shit.
A quick point. Yeah, just like I was gonna say, that king I mentioned was King David actually.
Okay.
Yeah, it's King David.
So it's just to add to what Elder Howard said that they're training right now with their warfare and their guns. Right. We're also training right now too. We're doing spiritually.
True.
Yeah.
True.
So while they're doing carnally, we're doing it spiritually.
And that's why they
Right.
That's that carnal law.
How are you?
You know what you say?
What?
Speak to yourself.
Yeah.
That's some.
Affirmation.
Yes.
All these things affect the life of the self.
Yes, it does.
Constantly meditating on troubles and things that are going to come.
Yes.
The Lord is also working on this, conditioning us.
that's right. Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Putting us in the right mind frame. These people, it's just they're going to become as the people in
And then that's
We're about to go through
Huh?
next.
you already kind of, not kind of, you know a lot of things. That's gonna happen.
Especially because
We have that,
the Elder Howard brought up before. This is the last one where we're spiritual men, so we're dealing with spiritual stuff. So when those things happen, because a lot of spiritual stuff, demons, apparitions, people bugging out, it's just demons and spirits jumping on people. So when you see it, it's like, okay, I know what that is.
Yes.
I already know what that is.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
The women are not. That's why they're gonna be bugging out. They're gonna see this match just calm. Like, what the hell? It's gonna be calm. Yes, I will. Yeah.
At Job, at destruction, we shall laugh.
Because we're seeing the scriptures that we've been laboring.
Playing out.
Playing out.
Yeah.
Hey, bro, when the Lord wants to, he can send that line between the spirit.
That's right.
Easy.
And he can just make you see the,
Bro.
spirits flying everywhere, just different demons, bugged up things.
You're the one who put me on Jacob's ladder. I never knew how real Jacob's ladder was until I came to the truth, man. And it's true. When you get to see the spiritual world, there's everything going on. There's a world happening around us. That's what animals see.
Yeah.
You wonder why the animal looking over there. There's nothing there. The animal sees
Marking
something.
something.
Yeah. What is barking at? Animals know, bro.
So I'll finish this up. So it says,
Hey, like they said, before destruction comes, birds fly away.
yeah.
Before the destruction
That's
even
true. I think
comes,
it's,
birds sense it.
It happened in what was it?
Salami.
Carolina, when that all of those hurricanes was happening. The black bears were climbing the trees,
Damn,
and then the birds were fleeing.
that's spiritual, man.
Yep. So Deuteronomy 1:34, when the Lord Yahweh heard you complaining, he became very angry. So he solemnly swore, not one of you from this wicked generation will live to see the good land I swore to give your ancestors, except Caleb, the son of Jephunneh. He will see this land because he has followed the Lord Yahweh completely.
You got both your Christians. It wasn't to yourself. Talking about Caleb was an Eden. That was Christian, right?
That's right. That's right. I will give to him and his descendants some of the very land he explored during the scouting mission. And the Lord Yahweh was also angry with me. This is Moses speaking, because of you. He said to me, and that's why leaders are strict. That's why your leaders are strict. Because it even tells you in the scriptures, and they're balanced, but they can be strict. It tells you in the scriptures that the leaders, or that they're supposed to understand that the leaders also have a master in heaven. We all have a master in heaven. But look at everything that Moses went through leading Israel. It was the one that the Lord chose to bring out of Egypt, not to see the land that was promised. You know, so of course, you know, when you Jakes, you get mad at us, you know, rebuking these other camps for what they're doing. Hey, if we don't do what we're supposed to do, the blood is on our hands. Because we serve our apostles on down. You know?
Well, it says, and the scripture said, defenders of the gospel.
Yep.
Right? So it's all scriptural, man. It's not based on our feelings. It don't like me because he's black.
Well, we hate wickedness, though.
Yep, exactly.
We hate wickedness. It doesn't matter if you're an Edomite or a Jake. Like, hey, when we rebuke, we're not just rebuking as a job. We feel that. That's anger and hate towards wickedness. That's why you feel it and you get angry.
Yeah.
And if you're right, you'll repent.
Yeah.
And if you're not, you're like, I want to kill this guy.
Yeah.
This guy.
Yeah. That's why certain spirits can feel it. We go in a room, they don't like you.
Yeah.
Right away, you can feel it off of them. It's like, all right, I already know that. Like, okay, yeah, I have a problem. I don't care though.
Yeah.
I don't care, but it's the spirit that's with you, right? Yeah, I'll share something with you. So
You got a fucking inferiority complex.
yeah.
It's true.
Yeah.
Look at you, you know?
Yeah.
Size you up.
Yeah.
Because really, they're just mad with how shy because you're following him. So if you're mad with me, you're really mad with him because I'm following what my master's telling me to do.
That's right. That's right.
So really, you have a problem with him.
That's right.
And he's gonna deal with you, like you said, he'll fight your battles for you. He's like, I don't have to do anything, man, because I'm not carnal. I'm spiritual. So I'll just let him deal with you on his own.
Yeah, that's right. So 37 it says, and the Lord Yahweh was also angry with me because of you. He said to me, Moses, not even you will enter the promised land. Instead, your assistant Joshua, and it was all spiritual too.
Yeah,
it was spiritual, really. And instead, well, first, it says, instead, your assistant Joshua, son of Nun, will lead the people into the land. Encourage him, for he will lead Israel as they take possession over it, of it. I will give the land to your little ones, your innocent children. You were afraid they would be captured, but they will be the ones to occupy it. As for you, turn around now and go on back through the wilderness towards the Red Sea. Right? So they were complaining and they were supposed to go take the land of Canaan, and then they're like, no, we can't do it. And the Lord told Moses, okay, go back in the wilderness, right? Because they're going to go in circles until that generation dies off. And this is what they say. This is how Israel rations with themselves. It says, then you confess, we have sinned against the Lord Yahweh. We will go into the land and fight for it. So let me continue on. And it says, as the Lord Yahweh, our power, has commanded us, so your men strapped on their weapons, thinking it would be easy to attack the hill country. But the Lord Yahweh told me to tell you, do not attack, for I am not with you. If you go ahead on your own, you will be crushed by your enemies. This is what I told you, but you wouldn't listen. Because at first, the Lord's like, yo, go attack. And they were like, nah, I'm not going to do that. Then you got judged, and they're like, oh, fuck, I fucked up. Okay, you're right. I'm going to go attack. No. Don't go attack. I'm not with you. What? No, fuck you. I'm going to go attack anyways. Disobedient.
That's exactly.
That's all it is. Disobedient.
Going after the lust.
So basically, you got Jake being rebellious now, and when that doors of mercy are shut, then they're gonna see see the light and try to get right. It's the same thing you're doing back then. You're doing now. You should have been listening when the Lord told you to listen. But now you want to do what the Lord told you to do when He's not with you. And you wonder why these nations look at us the way they do.
And they should be praising Moses because the Lord was about to do a reboot, reset,
Yes.
factory reset.
That's right.
That's what I'm saying. And Moses intervened in the spirit.
That's right.
Lucky.
And guess what? That didn't get rectified throughout all generations.
Right.
So in the kingdom, that's another thing to keep 2/3 head low for a little while.
That's right.
We gotta think about that.
They gotta think about that.
different, all kinds of nations and things that they want.
Yeah, stoning of the prophets. Well, you're right.
And then in the dark age, when they
All kinds of shit, bro.
Quick precept.
Killing your house.
Quick precept. Second Ezra 9:11.
I'm going.
I'm almost done. That's
Okay.
yeah. I'll get back.
Second Ezra 9:11. And they that have known my law while they had yet liberty,
There you go.
and when as yet place of repentance was open unto them,
Right.
understood not, but despised it.
Right.
That word loathe is hate.
That's right.
You shouldn't just chill back and not go and just deal with your sin, deal in that shame. But they didn't want to sit in the shame, so they want to rectify it quickly instead of letting patient work a perfect work and be disobedient. The Most High jacked them up. So it says, "This is what I told you, but you wouldn't listen. Instead, you again rebelled against the Lord's Yahweh's commands and arrogantly went into the hill country to fight."
Yeah, you said again,
Exactly.
right?
Yep.
Jake's rebellious, man.
Yep.
You know, and those spirits are back today. You know, scoffing in the comment boards. You know, talking all kind of garbage. Oh, you guys don't know what you're talking about. Who ordained you a prophet? You know, that's Jake's.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. And yo, that's
What's your degree?
Yeah.
That's because they were saying that to Moses when they were seeing the miracles.
Yeah.
When they were seeing like Moses lead,
Yeah.
going through, they were still saying that.
Yeah.
So you can't help these guys.
Moses took too long on Mount Sinai, and they said, "Get the cat."
Yeah.
Get the cat.
That's why the scriptures says you can't serve the Lord and Mammon. Right? Because Jake's God is really money. Right? So it's not about the miracles that we can do. It's about what they can receive. Right? If we were able to buy Jake, if every brother who joined GMS got a Ferrari, they would think that the Lord is with us. Right? That's all it takes to really sign over a Jake. You have to remember, every Jake that's sold out only for carnal substances. Right? So that's all it takes to sway niggas. That's it.
And that's true too, because you know, even back then, like you had riches, not like we were lucky. We came out filthy rich. We came out. That's why we were able to build that golden calf.
True.
We came out filthy rich. So we were rich. The Most High set us up. Like He tells you in Ezekiel 16, I clothed you, I bought you leather jacket, I did everything. You had no excuse to say anything. But He still said something.
Yep. Just like a woman.
Yeah, just like a woman.
And they couldn't wait 40 days, man. It's just 40 days. You go up there.
You're like, you would think if you're rich, you're a lot more patient.
I'm tired of that. I'm tired of this bread. I'm tired of this.
Yeah.
I'm tired of that.
Yeah, we had
And you're seeing the big chairs.
Mount Sinai.
That's what I'm saying.
Thundering.
That's what I'm saying. They saw all those things.
Nothing's happening.
Nothing's happening. We're just here sitting. What are you doing? You know?
All this money.
Yeah. We had everything.
Crazy.
No, just saying, we had everything. The Most High gave us all of the quail,
Everything.
right?
Everything.
Yeah, but that's why I made the video on Lot's wife, because the people who leave, when this place gets destroyed, just like when these other kingdoms get destroyed, people are thinking about what they would be doing in that kingdom. They're not thinking forward.
Yes,
forward.
you're right. You're right.
We do that.
That's right.
When I'm chilling with brothers, high holy days, we're drinking, we're talking about future events.
Yeah.
We're talking about what we're gonna do. I'm telling brothers, yo, I can't wait for brothers to come over. I'm gonna get you guys a concubine. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do that. That's why Jake sit down and talk about the old days.
Yeah.
Just like Egypt,
Yeah.
Egypt.
That's why they're in the wilderness. They're just, you know what I'll be doing right now?
Yeah.
Weeks.
You know,
Yeah.
I'll be eating a camel right now.
Looking at
I'll be curry that down.
Remember, I used to have you over for the camp
Yeah.
barbecue.
Always talking shit, man.
Remember the upstairs,
Yeah.
7th floor?
Yes,
We used to kill it.
Yeah. Yo, not
we-
thinking about the land flowing with milk and honey.
God.
Because if
We
you're
used
thinking
to
about the
kill it.
land flowing with milk and honey, you're gonna be like, yo, we finally get our own.
Right.
Why would I want to go back to
We
Egypt?
have
Right.
inheritance,
Right.
you know?
No faith, man.
And the power of everything is
Yo,
right
is
there.
with us.
Talking
I'm
to
talking
Moses.
about, yeah, exactly.
Ruling.
All you had to do was
Ruling.
all you had to do was wait for a
That's
moment,
it.
you know,
That's it.
wait through the moment, a brief moment of
That's it.
uncomfortable.
But remember, we couldn't because at that time we were chilling with people like Nate
Heathens.
Satan.
And
We were chilling with heathens. We were chilling with the black consciousness people.
But light was
They
there.
probably had the eye of Ra. They
God,
probably
but
had
light was
that
there.
draw the eye of Ra in his eyes.
Yes.
Looking bugged out as hell, man. Yeah, remember?
Okay, I'll finish this up.
That's why in this time now, the Lord is only dealing with the hopeful elect,
That's right.
whoever they are, those
That's right.
righteous men.
Says,
Real
oh yeah.
So this the word arrogant in etymology, it says disposed to give oneself undue importance.
What word was that again?
Arrogant.
So they're just giving themselves like importance that they were like higher than the most high.
Right.
That's what they did. What they did.
Yeah.
They said they're higher than Moses.
Oh yeah, higher. Yeah.
We're the people, we're the leaders.
Yeah, because they were jealous at the end of the day. They wanted his power, they wanted his position, but they didn't understand the responsibility that came with that position.
Exactly.
Yeah, because when Shishari came down, like, oh no, you go talk to him.
Yeah.
But I thought you wanted to see.
Exactly.
Fucking Negro.
That's good,
People
man.
love
I'm just saying, right.
people love insubordination, man.
Blacks.
What does the scripture say? In the day of that power, my people shall be willing.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
It says verse 44.
No, it's not too late. The brother's right because that's how you deal with Jake. You don't deal with Jake according to talk. You have to deal with Jake according to power and judgment. That's right, man.
That's right.
That's just how you deal with our people.
That's it. That's all we get it.
Yeah, you go when we go in, like when the elect comes back down,
Yeah.
they're gonna say what they're gonna say.
Yep.
And some people are gonna be, who the fuck are you?
Boom.
And then boom.
Heads.
First kill, maybe 10 kill. Okay. Just like what the brother said, it has to be like that with Jake. Jake don't understand nothing else.
You're right. That happened in
Damn.
like even in that movie Chronicles of Riddick, the second one. That's what happened when the Lord Marshal was there, and you're like, oh, you have to bend down to the faith.
Oh, you have to bow.
Yeah.
And so, like, what is this faith? And we have our own. And there's multiple religions there. And then one guy, he tried to, overthrow what he was talking. So he's like, oh, who is this Lord Marshal? Whatever. The man just checked him, took his spirit out of his body.
Quickly, man.
So Deuteronomy 1:44. But this is the last two verses. But the Amorites who lived there came down against you like a swarm of bees. The scripture say it's coming down
In the Psalms, or bees?
no, how Esau's gonna come down. It kind of says like how he says a swarm, like a troop.
A flood.
A flood. Yes, a flood. Yes, a flood. The enemy shall come like a flood. It's the same thing. But the Amorites who lived outpaced and battered you all the way from Seir to Omar. Then you returned and wept before the Lord Yahweh, but he refused to listen.
That's right, of course.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, because those are crocodile tears. You're pleading, you're begging, you're praying, and it's all bullshit.
You just need to go.
Yeah.
1 Corinthians 4:9. For I think that Yahweh have set forth the apostle last, as it were appointed to death. For we are made a spectacle unto the world, unto angels, and to men. We are fools for Yahweh's sake. For ye are wise. We are weak, but ye are strong. So like we're not look like we're looked down upon in this sinful world, you know, and the Lord is going to give us the upper hand, even though we look, you know, like we all have different infirmities and you know, but the Lord is gonna he's gonna strengthen his elect, right? That's pretty much it.
Yeah, it's just daily bread, man.
Yeah.
You know, and we're girded in sackcloth, prophesying. You know, we don't look shiny. We're not appealing to these Israelites out here. It's like what the Zaquan said. If coming in you got a Ferrari, you know, listen, it'll be standing room only right here, man.
Oh my
The
gosh.
guys will be out in the highway around the block.
Oh my gosh.
Right? The highways that you'd have to have the hedges. They'd have to have police directing traffic.
Exactly. Yeah.
Hey, people used to come up, they're like, you guys got a Bible?
Right.
You got a free Bible?
Yeah.
They always wanted something. You know? Just stand there and listen, man. That's right. I got a quick one, just to build off you a month. This is Numbers 14 and 26 in NLT. It says, then the Lord Yahweh said to Moses and Aaron, how long must I put up with this wicked community and its complaints about me? Yes, I have heard the complaints the Israelites are making against me. Now tell them this, as surely as I live, declares the Lord, I will do to you the very things I heard you say. You will all drop dead in this wilderness because you complain against me. Every one of you who is 20 years old or older and was included in the registration will die.
Yeah.
You will not enter and occupy the land I swore to give you.
That's prophetic to now. We're in the proverbial wilderness. And the same sentence is out on these two verses. You're not going to occupy, you're not going to have the first class seats in the kingdom of heaven.
And all they had to do, like I said, was get through a short stretch of uncomfortableness. That's why the Lord, he said, you can't do 40 days. I'll make it 40 years.
Yeah.
Simple, man. The Lord's poetic, bro.
Yeah.
40 days Moses was up there. We don't know how long before they said, yo, get the calf. Might have been a week. Might have been 5 days. I don't know. Verse 30, you will not enter and occupy the land I swore to give you. The only exceptions will be Caleb, the son of Jephunneh, and Joshua, the son of Nun. You said your children will be carried off as plunder. Well, I will bring them safely into the land, and they will enjoy what you have despised. But as for you, you will drop dead in this wilderness.
Hey, even scriptures like this proves that God doesn't even love his own people. Right? There's certain people that the Most High deals with, and there's certain people he doesn't deal with even among Israel.
Yeah.
Because right then and there, God should have just, oh, God loves everybody. God loves everybody. That's all it should have been.
He understands your
Yeah, exactly.
nature.
You don't love your
Not all Israel is of Israel.
That's right.
Verse 33, and your children will be like shepherds, wandering in the wilderness for 40 years.
Good.
In this way, they will pay for your faithlessness until the last of you lies dead in the wilderness. Because your men explored the land for 40 days, you must wander in the wilderness for 40 years. A year from each day. suffering the consequences of your sins. Then you will discover what it is like to have me for an enemy.
Close the book.
That's
The most high is bad, bro.
Al-Ashad, demon-like power.
And we're suffering.
Demon-like power.
We're suffering right now because of people as well, because of our people. And us, because of course, I'm not excluding ourselves, but our people have put us in this predicament. Because we've always chosen Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, but our people have always tried to kill the prophets, kill the Savior. Right? But we have to go through this suffering just because of all of that.
Well, it starts with us because remember, it's sons of God, right? The elect, they're the first fruits. These are the first fruits of everything. Just like Solomon, going into everything.
But I understand what
I know, I
because,
get,
because in ancient world, the prophets were there and said, yo, you guys are going off and doing this. The princes, the nobles, the royals are just talking shit.
They always
we're getting
do.
rich. What are you talking about? You're talking about the Babylonians. They're not going to come. Hold on, let me real quick. It says, verse 35, I, the Lord Yahweh, have spoken. I will certainly do these things to every member of the community who has conspired against me. They will be destroyed here in this wilderness, and here they will die. the 10 men Moses had sent to explore the land, the ones who incited rebellion against the Lord with their bad report.
Right.
And we're coming into that time where any
Same
little
thing.
joking thing, any members that are first, second, third command, and you take orders for jokes, or you just
Yeah.
demon jumps, you're coming into the time where swift judgment is coming.
Boom.
You think it's a game, and the most boom,
Boom.
you drop dead.
Hey, that's the spirit of Nimrod, right? Being a mighty hunter, trying to take away souls, right? That's all it is. It's all of that spirit of deception, man.
Yep.
Trying to lead people astray.
It says the 10 men Moses had sent to explore the land, and the ones who incited rebellion against the Lord with their bad report were struck dead with a plague before the Lord. Of the 12 who had explored the land, only Joshua and Caleb remained
That's
alive.
it.
No. And that's the two kingdoms.
Yeah, Khan.
Cool.
Just thinking about it. Yep.
Yeah, cool.
That was it.
Okay, Matthew 12:36, it says, "But I say unto you that every idle word that men shall speak, they shall give account thereof in the day of judgment. For by thy words thou shalt be justified, and by thy words thou shalt be condemned." So just to add to what Elvi was saying, when they made that agreement, right? So you made a verbal agreement to Yahweh Shem Shai. So you can't come out and say, oh, you know what, I changed my mind. No, once you say that, that's it. Because Mosai is the same way. He's by his word. He says he's gonna do something, he's gonna do it. So I mean, as his people, you should try to do the same thing. So you have to be careful also with what you say.
Mhm.
Right? Because Mosai is listening. I can speak for myself. I said things and then right away he judged me right away. You put me in a test right away. It's like, okay, you said this, you said you do this in this situation. Here it is.
Yeah.
Right? Are you gonna do it?
Yeah.
So the Mosai, he's very serious.
Yeah.
Right? That's what they go about back in the ancient times, men, it was just about the word.
Yeah, the word of your balls.
Exactly.
It's your testimony.
Exactly.
To testify. Testing.
Yeah.
So like the guy that had to kill his daughter.
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
he
yeah,
made,
exactly.
He made a promise.
Yeah, judges. Yeah. And he knew he's like,
And the Most High does those
Yeah.
things today. Like we make promises with the Most High all the time. The Most High doesn't know about contracts. We're so in this Babylonian kingdom that we don't understand verbal contracts anymore. Right? That's where the mafia got my word is my bond. Right? That they took that shit serious back then.
Yeah.
Men would die for their word.
Yeah.
They didn't play with that. Like we're playing with that now, but that's serious back in the day. You
That's
tell
right.
a man you're gonna do something, you have to do it.
I'll just play.
Yeah, I'm just playing.
In the-
That's why Judah honored what's her name?
No, not Tamar.
Because remember she
His
bought like the bracelets?
His daughter-in-law.
Yeah. Because he said, yo, I gave you my word.
Oh yeah, yeah,
She
yeah.
said me.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're more
What's
righteous
Tamar?
than I am.
It was Tamar.
Yeah.
Tamar.
Yeah. Abraham did the same thing.
That was it?
Oh yeah, that was
Is
it.
it? I just wanted to finish up verse 39 and the same thing, Numbers 14. It says, when Moses reported the Lord's words to all the Israelites, the people were filled with grief.
Mhm.
Then they got up early the next morning and went to the top of the range of hills. Let's go, they said. We realize that we have sinned, but now we are ready to enter the land the Lord has promised us. But Moses said, why are you now obeying the Lord's orders to
Exactly.
return to the wilderness?
Exactly.
It won't work.
Exactly.
Do not go up into the land now, you will only be crushed by your enemies because the Lord is not with you.
Yep.
Yep.
That's Jake, man. You're gonna try to get right when it's too late, man.
Mm-hmm.
That's why they were banging down Noah's door
Yeah, exactly.
in that day.
Yeah, exactly.
Most I said, I'll seal it.
You got something? I got something. Something you got. No? So this is
If you don't, somebody get, what is that one? Luke
No, I got
19 and 27?
Okay.
No, you can get that.
okay, come.
Like that one, those my enemies that will not have me rule.
Right. This is Ezekiel 7:24 in the NLT. It says, I will bring the most. Yeah, I said, I will bring the most ruthless nations to occupy their homes. I will break down their proud fortresses. So all the houses, all the things that, you Jakes, especially you wicked teachers of Israel have built up for yourself, Esau's going to get it. Most High is getting ready to put the spirit on Esau to take that away.
Wow.
Because at the end of the day, yes, you're living good with Esau and stuff, but you're still a Jake.
Hey, just like them people in Hollywood just the other day.
Right.
Those were a lot of Jakes
Exactly.
in Los Angeles that lost their homes.
Lost your home.
Yeah, and some rich to do Jakes.
Exactly. That's right.
Mhm.
So all your fortresses, everything down. It says, and defile their sanctuaries.
Mhm.
So all your gods, everything you believe in,
Yep.
is going to come to naught.
That's right.
So it says, verse 25, terror and trembling will overcome my people. They will look for peace, but not find it.
Mhm. And you know where Jake finds peace? That's why you got to get Ecclesiastes. They find peace in their jobs.
Yep.
But the Most High said that the grinding shall cease. So niggas, especially nigga, you find peace in your work.
That's right.
You get to get up every day and go work your nice little cushiony job, and that's where your strength is. I don't need no man. I'm independent.
That's right.
You saw a sample of that. No, I was just gonna say you saw a sample of that during the lockdown.
That was a good time.
Yeah.
You got the loot, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Let me just finish this. Let me finish this.
And
It
she
says,
Salakia.
yeah.
And she glorifies her plaques.
Yes.
She got them plaques up with her name
Master.
and a couple letters behind it. Right? Yeah, she glorifies that
You
shit.
see on their Instagram, social media, they'll have their in their bio,
Yep.
a nurse. Or,
Yes,
you know,
yes.
yeah.
RNA.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And they'll take the picture of the with the ultimatum.
Yeah, of course. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it says, verse 26, calamity will follow calamity. Rumor will follow rumor. They will look in vain for a vision from the prophets.
Right.
Hey, because remember, Jake right now just think that they had a bad year last year,
Mm-hmm.
not knowing 2025 is going to be worse.
Yep.
Because they think that 2025 is going to redeem the year before.
And yes.
Make up for it.
Because remember, that's when remember when Esau opened up everything? Niggas were outside. They're like, I gotta make up for all the time. We're locked up. Yeah.
My boss gave me a raise.
Yeah.
That's true, because a lot of people that train, they said I spent a lot of time learning about things. That's why when they came out of it, they started their own businesses and got into this and got into
Yes.
that. So it was almost like a their so-called enlightenment age.
Of course it was.
They see that shows you how duped you are, because you saw that calamity as a position for you to do good, learn something, go into the world and thinking that, like you said, that time is done with.
Went right back to their old selves.
Exactly. Double down on being more.
Double down on
That's it.
being wicked.
All that did is gave you time to how to be more wicked.
Jeez.
That's all it did.
To add what you're saying, the men of the Lord just do that on the right hand side, because you look in when Joseph, when he his brothers, everything that happened, went to prison.
Yeah,
that was a time of isolation for him. But he just did it righteously. He came out of it and became a better. He grew, right?
Yeah,
That's right.
So
yes.
men of the Lord do it on the right hand side. These people are on the left hand side. So when he could just become more wicked,
That's right.
because they're doing it in the world. The only way to get better in the world, if you're out there, is to be more wicked.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Sin to win.
Yeah.
Sin to win.
Yeah.
Woo.
Sin City.
Yeah.
Okay. And finishing up, it says, calamity will follow calamity, rumor will follow rumor. They will look in vain for a vision from the prophets. They will receive no teaching from the priests. So no more videos, right?
Yeah, famine in the word.
Right?
Yeah.
No counsel from the leaders.
Mhm.
The king and the princes will stand helpless. Your top teachers,
Yeah.
right? They say that it's not coming and all this
Yeah.
stuff.
Umar.
And it says, well, even like Nate,
I was just about to say,
all
exactly.
these top teachers, and
They're going to be exposed.
exactly
Yeah, man.
helpless, weeping in despair, and the people's hands will tremble for fear.
Of course.
I will bring on them the evil they have done to others.
That's right. That's violence, man.
And they will receive the punishment that they so richly deserve.
Yeah, because all hell's gonna be breaking loose. All hell's gonna be breaking loose, man.
Yeah.
Right? Scripture say, they shall faint of thirst.
Yes.
Wander from east or north.
Yeah.
For the
Yeah,
looking for
yeah.
knowledge. See to see. Kind.
Yeah, which is like mainly through the internet, trying to, or other people,
Yeah.
right? Trying to find out, where those
What
guys
about those-
were in the corner,
Who's G-Man?
you know?
Yeah. Because hey, everybody got all kind of different camps on the corner. But the Lord is saying the majority of camps out there that are on the corner are actually lying to you.
That's right.
So those guys have followers, they have followers, and then Your followers, the way these Israelites are going to be turned to those that are of the elect, they're going to be turned to GMS and really the truth, Yahweh Shai, is because their leaders are going to be helpless. Then they're like, fuck, I remember when GMS was saying this, or the apostles, you know, the affiliates too.
You know, it's funny too, a lot of people, their spirits are just gonna be broken. So a lot of people, they're gonna perish. Some of the Most High has elected in those different groups. They'll be saved.
Yeah.
But a lot of people, they're just, their spirit will be broken. Like, I can't listen to anything that an Israelite says, or whatever the case is.
That's true.
They're just gonna be so heartbroken.
Yeah.
I was 10 years with this guy, I was 20 years with
Yeah,
the king.
yeah.
You know, I put my whole spirit into this.
Yeah.
They're just gonna
That's,
be broken.
that's how you create an atheist. That's what happens to a lot of people. They're hurt by the church system, or they're hurt by a religious leader.
Yeah.
It's true. And then they blame the Most High.
Some ex-IUIC members, they
Yeah.
become Christians.
Exactly.
They go back to
They go back to Christianity. You're
We're
right.
double rejected.
Yes, exactly.
Now,
You're
what you
double
said,
rejected.
you made them twofold twice the child of hell.
Exactly.
You know what kind of blood that's on your hands?
Oh yeah, I've seen it happen, man.
Bro, the way the Most High is going to kill these guys,
Especially when people lose a loved one, then they start to blame God.
Blame God, yeah.
We're looking two visions with them.
Yeah, right.
The same thing happened in both of the visions.
You talking the oil and the
No, well, not the oil. Like there was two men that I think one was both GMS or no, one was Renee. There's a guy back in the day where he said that he had a dream about Nate Gaiman. They beat him with bats.
Yeah.
And then a brother in GMS said he had a dream where he saw Nate walking and he thought he was getting his ass beat by his people. So like, this is twice you're hearing the same thing.
Yeah,
Well,
it's
the
prophecy.
brother Gabar, he said he had a dream that a lot of Nate's members were selling work on the low.
Oh, they probably are. You never know.
Damn.
Witches.
Hey, that shows you their punishment is gonna be great.
It's going to be crazy, man.
Yeah, that's heavy judgment, man.
It is 2 times.
Yep. Yep.
There's a cop, right?
So it says, I will bring on them the evil they have done to others. They will receive the punishment they so richly deserve, because this time is the end age where everything that has been done in previous times, you have sins that you're gonna be paying for from all tallied up.
Exactly.
So it says
Back in the day, you had that thing you tally, remember that board with the beats?
Yeah. Kind of.
Everything's
Yep,
tallied up.
all tallied up. Then they will know that I am the Lord Yahweh. That's it.
Got some real quick.
No, is it a precept? Yeah, the Luke.
Oh,
Yeah.
we got Luke 19 and 27 in NLT. And as for these enemies of mine who didn't want me to be their king, bring them in and execute them right in front of me.
That's right.
This is Micah 6:1 NLT. It says, listen to what the Lord Yahweh is saying. Stand up and state your case against me. Let the mountains and hills be called to witness your complaints. And now, O mountains, listen to the Lord's complaints. He has a case against his people. He will bring charges against Israel. O my people, what have I done to you? What have I done to you to make you tired of me? Answer me. For I brought you out of Egypt and redeemed you from slavery. I sent Moses, Aaron, and Miriam to help you. Don't you remember, my people, how King Balak of Moab tried to have you cursed, and how Balaam, son of Beor, blessed you instead? And remember your journey from Acacia Grove to Gilgal, when I, the Lord Yahweh, did everything I could to teach you about my faithfulness? What can we bring to the Lord Yahweh? What kind of offering should we give him? Should we bow before the Most High with offerings of yearling calves? Should we offer him thousands of rams and 10,000 rivers of olive oil? Should we sacrifice our firstborn children to pay for our sins? And that's Jake, okay,
Going into idolism too.
we fucked up. What are we gonna do? We
Exactly.
gotta put all these sacrifices down.
Exactly.
And it's simple.
And that's all
Just
we
listen
need.
to the Lord.
Just obey.
Obey. It says, "No, O people, the Lord has told you what is good."
Hey, because the Lord's mocking them. Because that's one into child sacrifice,
Yeah.
which our people love.
That's what they do.
And that's spiritually before Yahweh Shai too.
True.
The firstborn.
True.
Yeah, but you're right. Twofold. It says, "No, O people, the Lord Yahweh has told you what is good, and this is what He requires of you: to do what is right,
Keep the law.
to love mercy, and to walk humbly
Keep
in
the
your
law.
power.
Keep the law.
fear the Lord if you are wise.
Keep the law. Everything you're mentioning is just about keeping the law. The fear, keeping the law. The love, keeping the law.
Yeah, which Yahushua summed up in 2 things. And that's like, and that's a beautiful thing to digest, because the law is perfect and it's very intricate. You know, there's a lot of aspects to it, especially nowadays. So for Yahushua to simplify it so we can digest it mentally like that, it's powerful. Like I tell my clients, if you don't have a simple plan, you can't be efficient. If we had to think of all 613 laws, the heck? But he said, just think about this one, serve the Lord with all your heart, and then treat your brother like yourself, you can feel everything.
In the book's called something like something for dummies. So Lord of the Man,
Hey, dumb it
laws for
down.
dummies. Here you go, man.
Dumb it down. Yeah.
Dumb it down.
That's right.
It says, fear the Lord if you are wise. His voice calls to everyone in Jerusalem. The armies of destruction are coming. The Lord is sending them. What shall I say about the homes of the wicked filled with treasures gained by cheating? That's a lot of things. Okay. It's like you got Jakes that were at the forefront of putting Jakes in bondage.
Yep.
That old money that they stole, that they built up for cheating.
Yes, that's right.
It says, what about the disgusting practice of measuring out grain with dishonest measures? How can I tolerate your merchants who use dishonest scales and weights?
Yeah, bankers. We were the international bank, the real international bank.
The rich among you have become wealthy through extortion and violence.
Yep.
Your citizens are so used to lying that their tongues can no longer tell the truth. Therefore, I will wound you. I will bring you to ruin for all your sins. You will eat, but never have enough. Your hunger pangs and emptiness will remain. And though you try to save your money, it will come to nothing in the end. And I said, oh, generational wealth.
Yeah, generational
Black businesses. Black businesses.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It's
The blackout that they've been doing.
yeah.
For February 28th, yesterday. They
Still do
said
that shit?
no, they just did it because they wanted to try and hurt the elites. So they said nobody should go shop nowhere and do nothing.
But that's
But then you go back the next month.
Got it.
Yeah.
So go to your enemies for one of all things. You can't stop that, bro.
And
I'm
Jake,
going to my enemy.
Said gives unto Caesar anyways.
Exactly.
Yeah, he said it himself.
Is it not tax time? Gotta give to Caesar, bro. Shit.
Whenever you buy an item, it's already taxed.
It's already
I
taxed.
don't want to tax. I don't want to.
Fuck.
I don't want to pay that tax.
Come. That means you don't want a driver's license. Shit.
It says, hold on, verse 4. It says, you will plant crops, but not harvest them. You will press your olives, but not get enough oil to enrich yourselves.
Which is your servitude.
Yeah.
If you're doing all of that, this means that you're not the owner.
Yes. You're the inventor. You go into these, like we built up Canada or we built up America.
Yep, we
Americas,
did.
but we're not reaping from it.
No,
They're reaping from it. So
That's
you can
right.
go and be Jay, you can invent and do all that.
do all of it.
But you're doing it for other people. You're not getting no benefits.
Hey, ask Jakes about all the condos. I like my cousins. I'll be with some of my cousins. They'll be like, "Yeah, I built that condo, but you're not getting the benefit. You don't live in none of them, but you build them."
that's part of the curse. Thou shalt build a house and
Not living there.
yeah.
It says, you will trample the grapes, but get no juice to make your wine. You keep only the laws of evil King Omri. You follow only the example of wicked King Ahab. Therefore, I will make you an example. Therefore, I will make an example of you, bringing you to complete ruin. You will be treated with contempt, mocked by all who see you.
Which we never needed to hear in any other book because it was already written in Deuteronomy. When you go to Deuteronomy 28, it already said what would happen to us when we sinned. Yeah. So when you're reading all the other books, Jeremiah, Isaiah, Revelation, you're hearing about what happened to us for breaking the law.
Yeah, exactly. Watching it play out.
Watching it play out through these different kingdoms.
Yeah.
Okay, John 10:27, it says, "My sheep hear my voice, and I know them, and they follow me." And I just read that because I think you said he gives a call to all. Can you read it again?
Oh, a voice, yeah.
Yeah,
He's
a voice
voice
to all Jerusalem.
Yeah.
Right? So the Israelites, he's talking, but they're not listening. And at the end of the day, the reason why they're not listening because they're not part of his fold. Right? So these people can never really come back and say that you never told me anything. You know, I never said anything about this truth or anything like that. There was one point in time where they heard it, right? But they weren't listening because at the end of the day, they're not part of this fold. So that's why he can get them back at the end when they try to come and say that. He's like, no, I did tell you. When that brother was talking about the corner and you heard him talk about the MOTB and you kind of just brushed it off because of the way he looked, I was right there, I was talking to you. But
Yeah,
they
and,
wanna
the
listen.
and the Most High talks to you in judgment too.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
our people, the Most High will judge them, and they'll still double down on their wickedness.
Yeah.
You'll have our people committed adultery, they lose their kid, they lose their mom, they lose their, and then they're just crying, but then they still go back to do the wickedness. But judgment happens when you do wickedness. Back in the day, when judgment happened, people stopped because people wanted to know, did I sin?
Yeah, they knew there was a God.
Yeah.
People
Yeah.
stopped immediately. They said, whoa,
Yeah.
calamities come on, so something is wrong.
High power did this. Yeah.
And so nowadays, people don't care.
Yeah. And they'll slack it. And they will, Jake will, Jake always, when something bad happens to Jake, when you get judgment, showing that they're tied to the Lord. Don't always think about that's the spirit.
Yeah,
Don't
now,
always blame the Lord and think
now
about
the
the Lord.
saying is, niggas die every day, B. That's the saying.
Right.
That's literally the saying.
Yeah.
When that's not a thing.
Yeah.
You should know that it's judgment.
Yeah. Yeah. That shows you how lost they're from.
Yeah.
Because now you're completely worn out in the spirit.
Exactly.
Completely worn out.
You're so worn out that you think it's normal.
Yeah, exactly. That's why you said what you said. Niggas die every day, man.
And Esau kind of smoothed the edges because he created this artificial society. Like back in the day, you had to work. Okay, if there's a drought, there's no food.
Mhm.
You know, and if there's too much rain, there's a flood. There's a mud flood.
Mhm.
You know, the grasshoppers came and ate the crops.
Mhm.
This
That's
army
true.
came and did this.
Mhm.
Now Esau has you in a city in a bubble. Oh, there's no army coming. Oh, we have sewer water. We have sewer drainage. We have this. We have that. You know, and it's like this little thing where, oh, it's just people trying to do the best they can.
Yes.
You know that's
That's
that
it.
mindset of a
Yeah,
stupid
yeah.
lifestyle,
Yeah.
right? But there's still judgment that happens in the city
Every day.
and there's greater judgment coming. This is the artificial way of living in general.
Yes.
This is not a real way of living.
No, it's not.
You're not in touch with the earth. You know.
Bro, we're eating seedless grapes, seedless this, seedless.
We don't
It's
even know.
fake as fuck, man.
These kids probably growing up, they're like, grapes had seeds.
Done.
I remember grapes having seeds.
Me too.
You know.
I used to shop at Nabil's Farms.
Yeah, that was yeah.
And just a quick point, just add what the elder was saying that when they do go off and they know something's wrong, because it still happens, Israel's still tied to the Lord. So when it happens, they say, okay, Yahweh, please, I'll never do it again. I'll never do it again. And they'll just go off and go off again and do the exact same thing that got in that situation. After the Most High took him out of that situation, he's like, okay, I'll deliver you. And then they go and be wicked again.
Yeah.
So like they can never say he never gave them any chances, he never tried to help them, right? It's just like a woman that you say, okay, you went up, all right, I'll take you back, kid. I'll give you another chance. And he just go off again. It's like, look, eventually he's gonna have enough. He's like, yo, I'm done.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm done with you. Yeah, exactly.
A precept. This is book of Sirach, 46, start at 10. That all the children of Israel might see that it is good to follow Yahweh, Yahushua. Verse 11, and concerning the judges, everyone by name, whose heart went not a whoring, not departed from Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, let their memory be blessed. So this is what our prayer should be, right? And it was basically spoken of in old times, right? So now we're deciphering to be in the same spirit of Samuel, because it was speaking of Samuel, right? Verse 12, let their bones flourish out of their place, and let the name of them that were honored be continued upon their children. And that's us coming after our fathers, right? So this was a prayer that was said about us back in the ancient world, right? That's what you're seeing right now, being manifested, right? The bones come back, the dry bones, right? Verse 13, Samuel, the prophet of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, beloved of his Lord, established a kingdom and anointed princes over his people, right? So that's the spirit that you see the different prophets in the different camps, right? In the mindset of Samuel, right? Verse 14, by the law of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, he judged, right? So it didn't say Samuel was saying what he wanted to say, right? Go in the scriptures, man. Say, what does it say right here, brother? You know what I mean? Some brother, or school do that. Some brothers are harsh with it. So it shouldn't matter as long as your niggas are, you're getting your life saved.
And it's the truth.
Yeah, the truth. You should just be thankful, right? A nigga that's, I said it all the time, you cross the street, and I say, hey, get on the road. You know what I mean? You can't be mad at the man because you're mad at the man to save your life. You should just die. The truck was meant for you.
That's right. You might say, get the fuck off the road. I might say it like that too.
You know? Some brother, hey, brother Chuck, but the fact is, they saved your life. You're missing the point, right?
Play like that bug out yesterday. JD Vance.
God.
You're not showing thanks.
By the law of Yahweh Bashim Shai, he judged the congregation. And that's only for us, man. Only we're going to adhere to these laws, statute, commandments, and ordinances, man. And they're going into order, right? Or ordinance. And the Lord had respect unto Jacob. That's basically talking about the 1/3 and the 1,400,000 right now. All right, is that talking about the whole nation right now? The whole nation, we respect the whole nation right now. That's what they put for debt. What up, black? You see if the guy's bugged out on the street, like dancing in some shiny shoes and no shirt on, do some.
He sounds good. It's just like how you treat, it's like how you treat like a.
No, but if you understood what he went through, you'd understand why.
No, that's what I'm saying.
People like that have been molested, MK Ultra, drugs. They're destroyed, man. All for money. You see how money looks now? These are the things we need to show our children. We don't show our children what they look like when they're doing good. Show our children what they look like when they're falling. That's what happens when you sell out.
Yep, and you're no more useful to the industry.
Hey, that's why.
Hey,
that's why I liked the TV show Snowfall, because they showed you his fall.
Yep.
Right? Yep. They showed you his rise to power, but they showed you he bugged out at the end.
Yep. That money. Yep.
People are concerned for this bitch Ariana Grande.
Yeah,
yeah.
What's going on with this person? What's going on with Justin Bieber?
She's sold out. Justin too. Yeah. Britney Spears.
Look at her. She's in a match.
Draws.
You need to firmware update, bro.
There's 2 more verses. Verse 15. By his faithfulness, he was found a true prophet, right? And by his word, he was known to the faithful in a vision.
Hey, to be a prophet means that you're saying something before it happens, meaning that you're not in the time of that thing. So that's why people look at you crazy, because you're saying something that's going to happen, but it never happened yet. So you're speaking against things that are above you. We're telling Canada you're going down, America you're going down. That doesn't make sense to the average people, because they're looking at it like, how? How would you do it? Because if you had the power, would you do it now? And they're right. But at the same time, we can see the end of these kingdoms, man. They're done. So these people are going to always be in a trick bag, because they're looking at these places like they're meant to be here forever. We're just telling them, you had a time to rule, and your time is up.
They lack that vision, right?
They lack that vision.
You like see what's coming, whereas everyone else here just thinks is how shit's gonna go on forever. So it's just something of an imagination to them.
Yep.
Whereas we see it coming, we believe it's coming, so that when it happens, we're ready for it.
Exactly.
But people of this world, they can't see it because this is all they know. All they know is getting up, going to fucking work, paying these bills,
yes,
being, subject to your wife.
Oh yeah, 100%.
My second half.
Yeah, my other half.
Ball and chain.
Just living the dream.
Just living the dream.
Or living in a dream.
That's exactly what they're doing.
Or that happy life bullshit. But, we're on a whole other mindset.
Yeah, come.
The thing about that's like, brother. The thing about that first drop of water, the kind of nigga poured it in days of Noah. The first.
Oh my gosh!
It was the first drop.
Every joke. Oh, spit pumping. All the hairs on his spit pumping. We thought it was bird shit.
The first drop was like his nose. What's that?
Every joke he made towards Moses
came back on that. Sit. Right away. He's like, oh,
Exactly what happened. Every single cheese you knew it was true. You just love this fucking place.
Hey, and that water is, I think it's worse than the fire because the water, you're thinking it's gonna stop. It probably reach your ankles and you're like, it's still raining? Why is it still raining? Your knees.
Well, you have your dinner and you're like, yo, it's still raining.
Because it's one thing for it to rain. You're just, I'm just gonna go home.
And then the water starts rising. Like, yo, the water's gonna move. Well, in the scripture, it tells you that the water came upward too.
Oh, wow.
The water was coming up.
True.
Water reservoirs and everything.
We're surrounded by water. Exactly. What is everywhere? And above. Water.
Exactly. It tells you that the windows of heaven open up. The firmament, the man most high open up the firmament, and everything from all angles, and then close it up, and it just circulating water. Moving land masses all over the place.
People are bugging out, man.
Oh, that's crazy.
People are in their homes. The water's coming up. They remember they were scoffing.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
The water's slower than fire. You're gonna obviously you can make the fire burn and make it
Do it on them animals.
Yeah.
Either one, brother.
It
Either
might-
one.
It might be 100 feet.
Oh, yeah, either one's got it.
Yeah, that's what I know. That's why it's like
100 feet up, swimming, looking down.
Yeah, you think I'm good?
Yeah.
It's still good. I have time.
The Viking comes up for a snack.
Oh, yeah.
The
I
sharks.
don't know what happened.
Yeah, that's one thing that happened. The sharks are.
Hey, all those, yeah, the sharks,
Yeah.
all this, they have food.
Alligators.
Well,
Yo, it was some Niagara Falls, you know, Niagara Falls water, that power.
Yeah.
You know, but guys are getting pulled away in whirlpools. Undertow was pulling under.
The amount of pressure, like when you saw, you know, when you take a cup, it's in water, and you bring it, and then all of a sudden you get
Suck here.
it's
Suck it out.
so exactly. If you have a ball in the middle of space and it's surrounded by something, and you could like water is just gonna come down like. A lot of those people died at impact.
Yeah.
Yeah,
true.
It wasn't coming sudden. Boom.
Water's more dense. than
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
I did a belly flop before.
Miss Jenkins upstairs, and the old lady that give it cookies up. She drowned.
Boom. Yeah, she done it.
And then she died.
Remember, Esau has a laser with water.
Yeah.
It pictures you with water.
Yeah.
It's all about pressure.
Yeah.
So everything just fell on your head.
Yeah, it's called
Some
PSI. I used to work with a job like that. And the PSI could strip the paint off of a car. Yeah,
And it's pretty much the opposite of a fire. Laser.
it's just water laser. Yeah, man.
Exactly.
Dangerous.
A lot of those guys didn't even have time to drown. They just died because of the impact.
Yeah, that North Sea, man, is cutting up a lot of ships.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, remember I used to work at a place?
Yeah, I remember what happened to that guy.
Yeah, Con.
I got a precept. Do you know what it got?
Nope.
That was it?
Yeah.
Okay. This is Jeremiah 17:01 NLT. It says, the sin of Judah is inscribed with an iron chisel, engraved with a diamond point under stone hearts and on the corners of their altars.
Yeah, like his scripture said, seared with a hot iron.
Even their children go to worship at their pagan altars and Asherah poles beneath every green tree and on every high hill.
You know what's that talking about? That's talking about superstition. And superstition is handed down generation to generation. Oh yeah, my grandma used to do this. My great great grandma used to do this. It's just handed down to them. They don't even know why they're doing it. They just do it.
Yeah. Yep. That's right. That's right.
It says, so I will hand over my holy mountain along with all your wealth and treasures and your pagan shrines as plunder to your enemies, for sin runs rampant in your land. The wonderful possession I have preserved for you will slip from your hands.
Hey, that's how the what do they call the Knights Templar. That's how they started. They started as men that knew the truth, went around to these different lands, plundered, and then learned of how to serve the goat, learned about how these different ideologies, and then turned away from serving the Most High. They are the ones who brought back Africa. Exactly.
It says, I will tell your enemies to take you as captives to a foreign land, for my anger blazes like a fire that will burn forever. This is what the Lord Yahweh says. Cursed are those who put their trust in mere humans, who rely on human strength and turn their hearts away from the Lord. They are like stunted shrubs in the desert with no hope for the future. They will live in the barren wilderness, in an uninhabited, salty land.
Straight.
Let me get this. This is Matthew 13:16. But blessed are your eyes, for they see, and your ears, for they hear. For verily I say unto you, that many prophets and righteous men have desired to see those things which ye see.
Yeah, because there's two things. Because we all have ears, right? We all have eyes. But when you hear, do you listen? Right? Listening and hearing is two different things. Right? And seeing and watching is two different things.
Exactly.
So just because you're seeing something doesn't mean that you're actually watching.
That's right.
Right? That's why when we watch TV, we are actually watching what's happening. We see the symbols, we see the hand signs, we see the the words.
It's not just passing by us.
It's just not exactly.
That's why he said seeing but perceiving not.
But perceiving
So
not.
now we see things and perceive them.
That's right. And it says, and have not seen them, and to hear those things which ye hear, and have not heard them. Hear ye therefore the parable of the sower.
Yeah, that's why as soon as somebody comes up with something that's wrong, it's like nails on a chalkboard for us because we're like, what? Where did you get that?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It's true. Yep.
That's why 1,000 years, we're like, what do you mean we're gonna last for another 1,000 years?
You're not perceiving.
Esau? In a short time? Remember, this is only supposed to be a short time. How do you get 1,000 years out of a short time? When no other kingdom lasts for 1,000 years but us. No, when the Most High showed the vision to Daniel, that image, those kingdoms never lasted for 1,000 years.
Right.
So now that you have 1,000 years after our 1,000 years, and the Most High said it's only going to be for a short period of time, how did it equate to 1,000 years?
So you know you're nobody, man.
Come on, man.
He's actually nobody, but he's trying to bring that, deep.
Right.
Like I got this extra stuff.
Con, that you niggas don't know.
Like,
Yo, you GMS niggas don't know about this one.
I got 2 Peter.
Bring it up.
2 Peter 2 and verse 1. It says, but there were false prophets also among the people, even as there shall be false teachers among you,
Break it down.
who privily shall bring in damnable heresies, even deny the Lord Yahweh that brought them, and bring upon themselves swift destruction. Pretty much what this guy is doing, he's sitting up there very proud, want to be recognized, talking about, we're about another 1,000 years, which is a false doctrine, which is nonsense, right? And he's followed by a lot of people. Like when he goes live with his things, there's a lot of people that watch.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Man.
So there's a lot of people who will be deceived by this guy.
Right ends.
Still women, man. Still women.
Well, those YNs, they love this guy. He portrays that, the Sakari blade, the sticks, they bring the camp. The YNs, they watch these guys, man.
Wearing baseball cap.
Right. They want to be Israel, but they want to be
Niggas
Come as you are.
Come as you are,
They're niggas, man.
Exactly.
And a key word here is among you. So I mean, this is within Israel, right? Who privily shall bring damnable heresies, even denying the Lord Yahweh. So when this guy denies the writing of Paul, he's denying Yahweh Shai, because Yahweh Shai says he comes in the bottom of the book. So this guy is a complete antichrist.
Because what the first thing a brother should ask is, okay, cool. You don't follow the writings of Paul, cool, but where did he go off? Right? It's not that you don't follow him. Okay, true. I don't care about who doesn't follow what book. That's none of my business. You follow whatever you want to follow book-wise. Because yes, there's some books that some brothers are gonna cleave to more than others. But what is it about Paul where he went off to where you now are saying that Paul is not a righteous man?
These niggas want to wear Hermes hat when they prophesy.
Exactly. That's it. You're fighting to keep on doing wickedness. That's what you're doing. You're not fighting for the truth.
But when he wants to put his woman in check, he goes right back to Paul, right?
Is Romans 9:1 going off? Because that's one of my favorite scriptures.
Yeah.
Right? Who are promised the this, the that, the this, the that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what things Paul goes into.
And he goes into the Old Testament to verify what he's saying. He
Yeah.
goes into the Old
Oh,
Testament.
man.
All of Hebrews, he went through, the first five books of Moses and
Yeah.
brought it out how the whole thing was pointing to Yahushua.
Wow.
Why did he do that? Because he knew the law. He listen, when Yahushua dealt with him, he was going through the law like, how have I never seen this? I'm a master at this.
He was a master.
I do this.
And he missed it.
Exactly.
That's how you know the spirit of the Most High was on you.
I'm telling you, man.
He was a wise man, but the Most High wasn't dealing with a wise man at that time.
Exactly.
He was alert, man.
He was alert, man.
Man. He knew that. He
And
said,
remember the disciples, they were unlearned.
yeah, exactly.
So show us.
They
Show us
understood
like
the
us.
mysteries right away.
It shows you, yeah.
They understood the mysteries, right?
Yeah.
Before Paul.
That's right.
It is for you to hear, not for them.
Yeah, Khan.
Khan.
He even said, I'm a master of the law. He boasted in the things that in the world.
Just,
Just to show Israel, you want to talk about some boasting? Let me just write down some of my
credentials.
My credentials.
Hey, that's why he persecuted us. He persecuted us in that time past because he was like, you guys don't have the knowledge. I have the knowledge. I can tell you who my teacher was.
I'm a Hebrew of the Hebrew.
I'm a Hebrew.
That's what he said. All this, and the man is telling you all this, and the man is going into it and letting you know, the very thing that I pride myself in was actually needing this. So you're gonna say Paul's writing was off, but he went into the law, which you guys boasted, to prove Yahushua.
Wow.
You guys are
So
beyond
stupid. So
that.
stupid.
It knows it.
No, he has a little bit more.
It says, even denying the Lord Yahweh that bought them and bring upon themselves.
Which is goes into Deuteronomy 28 and 68. No man shall buy thee. Yeah.
And bring upon themselves swift destruction. And clearly we see that this guy's every day he's being destroyed more and more. You know what I'm saying? Like he's losing his mind now. Like he's losing his mind. He's
He already lost his mind.
Yeah.
You know how you know he lost his mind because he told me that. He said, I'm in a constant state of delirium.
Oh yeah.
Years ago.
Years ago.
Before some of you brothers were even in the
I
truth.
forgot.
Years ago he said that. I'm in a constant state
Of
of
delirium.
delirium.
I forgot. That was a while ago, man.
It's an idle word, man. Right? That's an idle word because now it's gonna come back to haunt him because if you keep, hey, you said that, man. You know?
Yeah. So boom.
Yeah, that's it on that right now.
And he's losing followers within his camp. You know, some
It's
some guys are defecting and leaving.
Yeah.
You
Just
know,
how the story went out, right? They won a couple wars, right? And then they end up killing themselves off when the Romans were seizing Jerusalem. Their end after all that fight was to go into a room.
Masada.
Yeah, right, and then kill himself off and die.
The hill fort.
Right.
I went there. I was in Masada.
Oh, yeah?
Oh yeah.
I went
You
there.
did go there. Khan.
I was there, man.
They can hear that.
Going off.
How are the elevations over there?
I don't know. They're telling this history, but that was there. Looking, man, you know.
No, I'm just saying.
It's high. I don't know. It's just,
Did your body feel like weird?
them trolley things that more than the.
Oh shit!
Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh,
Smart.
Yeah.
Smart. They're smart for doing
I got this right because you guys are talking about 1,000 years.
Yeah.
So when you take in right, Britain was a superpower for roughly 250 years, like 248, 49, something like that. And I think you said a month of average empire lasts around 250 years
Right.
at the beginning of this lesson.
Right.
So take this in, right? This is Revelation 17 and 10. It says, and there are 7 kings, 5 are fallen, and 1 is, and the other is not yet come. And when he cometh, he must continue a short space. That's Britain.
which links up.
Right.
Yeah,
Short.
Khan.
And then Revelation 12 and 12 also says that he had a short time.
Time.
And when you look at this word short in the Greek, right? Because you should link that up, right? Oh, Britain had a
Exactly.
short time.
Exactly.
America has a short time as well.
Right.
The word short, oligos, little, small, few of time, short of degree or intensity, light, slight. So how is 1,000 years slight? That's one day.
That's it. Yeah.
It's a a short season.
Yeah.
You
You
know,
know, long 1,000 years.
Exactly.
and Britain is the mother of America.
America.
So it makes sense.
It makes
It's the
sense.
time period.
Exactly.
We're in the time of the demise.
Exactly. Exactly.
And right at the end is when these drifters come and
That's
start
right.
trying to pull people away. We got 1,000 years. We got this time.
I'm fine fighting for a dying kingdom.
Yeah, kind of.
Lisa? Everyone has it?
I have the word slight because it's very important, right? Because we're teaching a Sakari, let's not, right? Because you can't say that we didn't tell you, right? That's why we're here.
That's right.
Right, simply put, so the word slight, right, going into the context of what is there, right, what he's pushing is a slight doctrine. I heard that doctrine 30 years ago. Don't get all bored up about it, right? It's a Christian doctrine.
Exactly.
That's what it is. I can just tell you, Sakari, where it came from, right? But anyway, let me just get the word real quick here. It says flat, the word slight, flat, smooth, and that's how you're coming, right? Because it's not scriptural where you're coming from, right? What was read in Peter's, and these are the precepts, man, is from the scriptures. It's from our Lord. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, you slight the book of Hebrews, right? And then, as the brother mentioned, you have to run back to the law. Where do you think the book of Hebrews was lifted from? The laws.
Exactly.
Hey, man, you guys, hey, keep doing what you're doing, right? Let me just finish the word here. It says smooth, sleek, hairless, original Northern According, right? And probably from the Scandinavian source, right? And it goes on to say all of these things. It just basically repeats itself about slippery. And that's all this man brings is slippery doctrines. So keep bringing what you got, right? But we're going to stand with our power, right? And his name is Yahshua Allah, right? We're by default because we're the Yahweh Shem Shai. I'm just going into our mediator because he's like the mediator. He jumps over the mediator, our representation, and say he believes in Yahweh. Hey, but you're a liar. We know that for a fact, but that's okay. You're playing a role, right? So, but anyway, man, I jumped around there. But the word slight goes into what this guy is doing and these false teachers in Israel.
Well, of course they're false teachers because even your president just went on national TV and told you that you people really should be prepared for the Third World War. That's what. So if you don't, okay, cool. Yeah, we know they're actors, they're this, they're that, but really and truly, they don't say nothing just to say it.
Right.
So now that the Third World War is the buzzword, that's what we got to prepare for. So what does that mean? That means we're in the end time. If we're in the time of the Mark, if we're in the time of World War III, what other prophecy are you waiting for? You're waiting for something else? Does it take 1,000 years to spark a world war? No, man.
It takes one event.
What? I was just about to say.
But especially because we've been brewing the Third World War since the end of the
Exactly.
Exactly.
The third
Went through a whole Cold War.
Been married
We went through a whole Cold War.
the whole time. You know?
And the Cold War didn't stop.
Through trade wars.
That's
you
right.
know,
Espionage.
COINTEL.
COINTELPRO. That's right, man.
Spot, you know, intelligence.
All of that. All of that.
Right.
The, tariffs.
Terrorists, yeah. Sanctions.
That's all war.
That's it.
Tariffs are wars, man. So it's financial wars.
But the 1,000 years quickly
Economic wars.
is 1,000 years quickly. So the third war, second one was passed. The third
Thank
comes quickly.
you. I even forgot that. I even forgot that.
Bro,
I even forgot that.
short
it said that.
space and it's coming quickly. In that short space.
I even forgot it said that. More chopping.
Bugged out.
Bugged out.
Yeah, you had the Iran Contra wars.
Yes.
You had Operation Paperclip.
That's a good one. And what were they preparing for? They're preparing for the Third World War. All those things is preparing for the Third World War. And now that the top man in the world, trumpeter, is saying it, they're preparing you.
Yep.
They're preparing you.
Yeah, he told Zelensky, you're playing with World War III.
And he's right.
Yeah.
It's not like he said something wrong. He's telling this. Because remember, that's what I was about to say. You're poking the bear because what you people don't see is that NATO is encroaching on Russia's border, which they're already on Russia's border.
You watch that map of the old Soviet Republic?
Yes.
And then each decade it just crouching.
In our time, right, when we were starting camp, what you used to bring out all times is that they wanted to put a missile defense system in Poland. Russia said, if you do that, we're going to nuke Poland. We'll nuke them. So keep fucking with the bear.
Hold like the wind. The ones that say, hey, hold like the wind.
True.
Even Zelensky, he kind of gave him a pop shot where he's like, listen, you don't have, you have problems.
Yeah,
They're just not close to you.
Yeah.
Across the ocean.
Yeah.
And Trump got proud. He's like, no, don't tell us what we
Yeah,
have.
yeah.
Trump, we have the card. You don't have the card.
Yeah, not playing cards.
Well, yeah, guess what?
He was speaking the truth as
Because,
well.
because the end of this kingdom is the right? Remember, he said the beast I saw in Revelation 13, his head was like a leopard, but his feet were that of a bear.
That's right.
Your enemy,
Wow.
right?
And,
So he was taking
and the scripture says that the Most High is gonna dry up the pools. The pools of the oceans and all of that. All that shit's gonna be dried. So he's right.
And all
They're coming for you, America.
And all those European nations are pissed.
Yeah.
They're
Hey,
pissed, so
and Russia links with Cuba.
Yeah, and that
And
shows
Cuba's
you,
right there.
That's right. That shows you Revelation 17.
Yeah.
Revelation 17, and these shall hate the whore.
Mhm.
That's all brewing now.
And we know because of who too? Because of those small hatters that are over there pushing that war. So they're gonna get drawn right the fuck out.
Right.
So it's a perfect, the way the Most High is making this soup brew, it's so amazing.
And then also, even though World War III is being pushed, that shows you how much closer we are to the MOTV.
Simple and plain.
People are focusing on World War III, and yes, but MOTV needs to play out
First.
First.
Right.
So
First.
if that's in our face,
That's right.
that thing is not even at, it's in the house.
Exactly.
You get at the door, it's in your house right there on your TV.
No, but you know why they're doing that? They're doing that because the MOTV and the Third World War go together
Of
like
course,
this.
that's what I'm
Because
saying.
just like the elder said, they need a calamity. So right now, we all should be looking out for a calamity.
Well, they show you that in the movie.
To where they say,
Remember in the movie, Leave the World Behind, it was an attack on the economy. A
by the
cyber,
Chinese.
right? A cyber point because they're pushing more in front of your face. So
Yes.
shut everything off.
Yes.
Bring in Jacob's
And push the third.
yeah, no, you need the third World War to be the narrative for you to get MOTV.
So true.
You know, and they show you that in that movie.
Because people will be scared.
Exactly.
People will be scared.
Yeah, because it has to be an attack, right?
Exactly.
Just like 9/11.
They don't fight wars.
And it could be a domestic tea as well.
Yes.
So when they
that's
blame their own
Well,
citizens.
they have sleeper
Well,
cells.
yeah.
Con,
They don't have that for no reason.
con.
If the power goes out and then there's T attacks,
Jeez.
Even it's funny you say that because now it's weird, but Rogers they're offering internet that when the power goes out, you can still have access to internet.
Never even
Hey,
heard of
Sky,
that before.
Yeah.
Skynet?
Skynet.
Elon Musk.
Terminator?
No.
Yeah, it is.
what do you mean? They have a Skynet in real life too.
Yeah, do
Yeah,
it.
China has a different China.
But it's
use Skynet as like a code. It's called something else. But I know what you're talking about.
But Elon got it approved here.
Starlink.
Starlink.
Oh, Starlink. Okay.
Yes.
There's another one though. It's not called Starlink.
There's Starlink and another.
There's another one. Yeah.
Yeah, there's another one too.
Yeah, because one of the liberals or whatever, they funded him. They
Right.
know him, so.
Yeah. So he got that passed in Canada. So the infrastructure is already there.
That's right.
Already there.
That's right.
No, but because of the contract with Starlink.
Right. Well, yeah. What you're canceling now, and you're right. They might say these guys. They can say we're going to cancel now, and then all of a sudden bring back up.
Yeah.
Because what they're doing is they're fighting us, and everybody else was bringing up an opposite narrative. So you know what? These guys are using that Starlink. Starlink is coming in to bring out these videos. You know what? Ford canceled Starlink, so that narrative doesn't have life. But then it comes back again anyway. You end up doing what you say you're going to do.
It
You
will
can't
always
fight
come
against
back.
prophecy.
That's right. Hey,
So
that's,
he thinks he's controlling things by doing stuff like that. But you're not controlling shit.
hey, when you travel, you don't even have to see people no more. You could just scan your passport in the terminal. The terminal takes a picture of your face and everything. It's just a terminal comes up, takes a picture of your face, you scan your passport. So everything is ready to scan.
It's ready.
You go into Costco, you scan.
And your face comes up now. You see it?
And your face comes up in
Yeah.
Costco.
Yeah. I didn't know that. My face on it?
Yeah, face is on it. Yeah.
It happened quick unannounced.
Got it.
Yeah, they didn't announce
I
it.
went 1 week and then another week.
It was there.
Yeah.
And it's beautiful line. They want this castle right 2 weeks from now. You think false alarm lock when you have a blood moon, a lunar eclipse?
Well, all the brothers are, yeah, it's true.
Yeah, lunar eclipse happening, and then so everything's lining up, man. It's gonna be
We just know there's gonna be mass death.
Oh, yes.
There's gonna be mass perish,
Yes,
mass confusion.
yes,
Right?
yes.
Because remember, this calamity, right? When they say never let a good
Crisis go to waste.
That's like 2, 3, 4 because they're pushing their agenda, but that's also a sacrifice. Like
Yeah.
9/11, that was a sacrifice.
Yeah.
To whatever God.
Yeah.
The demon in the smoke came out.
Yeah.
So when this sacrifice happens again, it's gonna be big.
It's gonna be big.
It has to be global,
Right? It's gonna be very big.
Yeah.
Like you said, the EMP with the sleeper cells get activated.
Right.
It's just like
Right.
overkill.
So many things at once.
They're gonna love it because they need a lot of people to lead it anyway.
That's right.
They don't need a lot of people.
That's right.
You know?
Because I remember my family saying like those people that got jumped up like a couple of years ago, taking time bombs, you know.
That's a sacrifice too.
Yeah.
All those people that had sudden death syndrome, whatever
Yes.
they call it.
Sacrifice.
Yeah. Sacrifice.
Yeah, man.
And whatever comes, it's gonna be it's gonna change the way how things are done.
Exactly.
They always come with a
Like 9/11. You're right.
9/11, the serpent pictures that came a few
Yes.
years ago. That got that prepared everyone for the 6 feet apart and scanning this and barcodes that.
And mask.
Right, mask. Yep.
You're right.
Even what Doge is doing.
Yep.
That's just, what you're talking about is exactly what Doge is doing. They're saying the structure set up in the government beforehand, we found out the frauds. You guys are all frauds and liars.
Yeah.
Yo, why do you think Citibank just transferred $81 trillion into people's accounts?
Yeah.
Because the system is already ready.
That's right.
They're done with cash.
Yeah.
Where the hell did you get 81 trillion? That's how you know the system is just like this. That's why I don't get mad when Jake does what he does to the system. Because the system is not real. Oh, we lost 81. No, you didn't, because it wasn't real. You didn't lose shit. I lost 81 trillion. Where? Ignorance.
But they say America's 46 trillion in debt.
71, 72, and Nixon took, he completely eradicated.
Off the gold standard, yeah.
And then it was really worthless. Completely worthless.
Great times.
Yeah,
But yeah, you people don't even know, like you're saying, Sean, you people don't even know that you're actually you're complying. Like, this guy's getting you to willfully comply to the system he's bringing up. I know it's pissed off because people who are 300 years old are receiving millions of dollars, and and then your government that you trusted in was laundering this, was doing that.
Yeah, trust. Yeah.
Right now, Elon is saying, "Well, you should open up Fort Knox." I think that would be pretty cool to do a video on it. You gotta see if there's gold in there.
Okay, that's how you know some of these insiders are not true insiders. People like Elon, Donald Trump, they're low levels.
Oh yeah.
To even have a conversation like that is a low level conversation.
Oh yeah.
We know better than that.
Well, exactly. Those guys are there to stir up your minds. Because just like the apostles are there to do it for us in the right hand side, they got their prophets doing the same thing. Let's go, because people for a long time were curious about Fort Knox.
Somebody get that scripture, knowledge and wisdom shall be the stability of thy time.
Yeah.
And the reason why is because this
Isaiah 33.
is gonna hunker you down. Like when you're in a ship and they lower the thing into the water,
Anchor.
the anchor, that's what holds the ship there, man. Right? We're not gonna be tossed to and fro. We're gonna be grounded, man, because let me tell you people something, man. All you people that are out there, you're going to lose everything.
That's right. And more.
You're gonna lose homes. You're gonna lose your bank accounts until the worst place to have money right now is a bank account. Unless you have 2,000, just to keep 2,000 just to pay your bills. But you don't keep 50,000, 100,000 or more in a bank account. You're a retard. Take that shit out. Yeah.
Buy gold.
Exactly. Because this place is done. It's done, man.
And they're not ready.
It's musical chairs.
Yeah,
we're just waiting for the music to stop.
Yeah, these people, they're not ready, man.
They're not ready.
You know which people are gonna off themselves? They're gonna jump off buildings. They're gonna jump in front of trains.
Yeah, Black Friday. Hey, that's what happened. That's what happened during the Great Depression. During the Great Depression, when Esau lost everything, they killed themselves. When you study the Great Depression, it was the worst time for Caucasian men because their wives turned their backs on them. The majority of men killed themselves. Their children lost respect for them. So the Great Depression showed Esau what we go through now. How we are treated now by our women and our children, Esau went through during the Great Depression. That was terrible. It was a terrible time for Edomites, man. And that was a stock market crash as well.
I have a script.
Yeah, bring it
This
up.
is 1 Thessalonians 5:2. For you know quite well, selected. This is NLT. For you know quite well that the day of the Lord's return will come unexpectedly, like a.
And we're not even talking about the day of the Lord yet. We're still talking about Esau. Yes, the day of the Lord is going to be all calamity, all judgment, but we're still talking about just the downfall of this sinful kingdom, which you can equate with the time of Rome. The fall of Rome, everything that we're seeing right now is what happened during the time of Rome. The reason why you citizens are quizzical, the reason why you're angry is because you don't know what happens during the time of a fall of an empire. The reason why Trump exists is because you think that you can make America great again. You're a retard because you don't understand the downfall of an empire.
Signs of the time.
The signs of the time. The writing is on the wall. Go ahead, Ar.
And then it's like, remember, during the fall of the Roman Empire,
Mhm.
you had the games at its most height.
Right,
the games, and now you have mass media.
Bro,
You got-
even me, I'm on Bet365. Every day there's something to gamble on. Every day there's something to gamble on. As soon as hockey is done, basketball. Basketball's done, baseball. Baseball's done, this. There's always something to bet on in this wicked world.
When Pipeline was going down, what the captain do? Kept saying, keep singing.
He was, remember, he dressed up real nice that day. He's like, yeah, we're good. Like, what?
Music playing.
Yeah, should have done a lesson on that. That's so true. Going down with the shit.
He did the same thing. Roman did the same thing with the games, editorial games. Yeah, exactly. Same thing.
Yeah, bread and circus.
Yeah.
Like a thief in the night. Verse 3, when people are saying everything is peaceful and secure, then disaster will fall on them as suddenly as a pregnant woman's labor pains.
Hey, that can be a mindset too. Like you don't literally have to. People don't literally have to see things are going well for them to think that. They can just think that too, because they don't want things to go.
Being optimistic.
Yes.
That's why it says in 2 Corinthians 5, at the same time shall men hope for. There's nothing.
Yeah.
So we're gonna hope for things to hope. Change, yeah. Remember Obama changed.
Yes,
Hope.
we can, yeah.
Hope.
Hope things gets better.
Yeah, hope it does. Hey, but that's what people are hoping for 2025. They're hoping 2025 goes well. They don't know.
Remember what was prevalent before all this things that are happening? People just put like in their profile, like 2020.
It's my year.
Yeah, you don't see that much anymore. Because they gave up, man. Looking bleak.
Looking very bleak.
People give that a sense of they just need comfort.
Mhm.
They're just like, all I want for 2025 is money,
Yeah.
this, just things that cover them because they've been through trauma. They're bugged out.
Yes.
2020 messed a lot of people up.
Yes, it did.
It messed a lot of people up.
It did. Of course it did.
A lot of people died too.
Yeah, remember it tore apart families. Yeah, tore apart families.
Minds.
Yeah. Relationships ended. Yeah.
A lot of the
grandma.
what do you call those? The old generations? Centurions? What is it called? The older generation. You use a C word. Is it centennials or
Centurion?
No. They use like the older generation as they would start with a C. But that generation got wiped out mainly in like
Oh yes.
in Italy, which had a
Even here in
it's a
Canada.
blue. They call it a blue.
No, you're
blue
right.
something.
You're right,
Yeah.
because remember during that time, it was mainly those people up in age that were getting deleted
Yeah.
by that thing. You're right.
Yeah.
But people don't
Them in
remember.
Japan.
No, but people don't remember they said the older people, the older generations were the ones that still owned land.
Oh, yeah.
They were the still owners of different land from back then. So when they died, those deeds went back over to the government, went over to the banks and all of that. You're right.
That's one for the young,
the baby boomers,
right? And the old.
Exactly. I remember. You're right.
He's a sick
Damn devil.
Labor pains begin, and there will be no escape. Verse 4. But you aren't in the dark.
If this ain't labor pains, I don't know what is. And the reason why I say that is because every single day you hear about not people losing their jobs, but corporations going down. So thousands of people.
You have Hooters applying for bankruptcy.
Mm-hmm.
That's like an
Chapter
American state.
Yeah.
You know?
Hey, the only reason why this country and this rulership is even getting by right now is because of social media. You have OF, you have TikTok, you have these different places you can go online to make your money.
Yeah.
If online wasn't here right now, the majority of people would be on the street. These women can sell their box on here, but if it wasn't for this, you'll see women outside right now. Hey, minus 19, minus 20 right now. It's minus 19 and 20 right now outside. Women will be outside. Hey, you want a date? Hey,
Good time. Love you long time.
love you long time.
Fur coat with nothing on it.
Oh, you know. Block was in high top boots. Yeah, Block was on the blade. I turned to the side. Yeah, with a feather. Go ahead.
Verse 4. But you aren't in the dark about these things. Dear brothers and sisters.
Hey, that's what a monthly prognosticator is. When you read in the scriptures, that's what it is. But we represent that on the right hand side. So where you're able to tell the future, you're a forecaster.
You're a seer.
You're a seer. The water.
See the vision.
Yeah,
see
the water.
You know, like we can see America being hit with an ICBM.
That's right.
Sometimes when we get dreams, you can just see, you can project, you think about it, you think it, and you see it. Yeah. You know? And then the brothers were saying about the labor pain. When a woman is about to go into labor pain, what happens? The water breaks. But she doesn't know. She's like, oh my God, my wire just broke. And then the labor pains come. Right? So that's that situation where people think it's comfortable, it's safe, and then sudden destruction comes. Water breaks, and then the labor pains come. During that time.
Hey, look, bros, we got a sword of omens, man. The Bible. So give us sight beyond sight. Right?
That's what thing was about, Thundercats.
God.
There's all of the characters in there. And what I know was I'm trying to remember the name. Moses' successor, Joshua. Yeah, that's who it was. So, and then Jaguar was Moses, right? So yeah, everything is based off of Israel and allegory that they put out there. Turn back to verse 4 here. But you are in the dark about these things, dear brothers and sisters, and you won't be surprised when the day of the Lord comes like a thief. That's all.
Okay, I got this one. The whole day. Second Ezra 7:6. Yeah.
Everybody's old and
Yeah, I know. That's why.
Everybody's holding a sword.
So it says, there is also another thing. A city is builded and set upon a broad field, and is full of all good things. The entrance thereof is narrow, and is set in a dangerous place to fall, like as if there was a fire on the right hand, and on the left a deep water, and one only path between them both, even between the fire and the water, so small that there could be one man go there at once. And I brought that up because I think we're talking about the time of Noah, we're talking about the water, and there's a lot of pressure, right? So I just got this word pressure in etymology. It says suffering, anguish, act or fact of pressing on the mind or heart. So they were also talking about the not IOIC, the Sakari. So the YNs that want to come in and look at Sakari because they got the guns and all that shit. But
The caps.
yeah, and then you got Elazar, right, or whatever his name is. He's you can tell he's not a man of the Lord, but part of the reason why they do that is because he can't handle the pressure of being a man of the Lord. That's right, right. Part of the suffering, and you have to pick up your cross. But he said, "Pick up my cross and follow me." Yeah, Hawashai had pressure that he had to go through. That's right. Like he bled blood, and he was I think the place sweat blood, and that place actually meant to press. I forgot where it was.
Golgotha.
Yeah,
Golgotha.
No,
it was not. Yeah. Right. So in the truth, you're going to be under pressure, but the pressure is to see whether you are gold, diamonds, jewels, or your stubble or wood.
Yeah,
Right?
which means you're giving up the old man.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to give up the
Exactly.
old man.
And you're in rank and file.
Exactly.
True words. Yeah.
Because when he was in the camp, he was what, like, I don't know, 9th or 10th, whatever. He was a new brother.
Yeah, he was just a new person.
He was we didn't even know.
No.
We didn't know this guy.
No.
And then he broke away, and then he started doing his own fancy shit.
Yeah.
And that's why him and Deacon,
Asaph?
They were tight.
they broke apart.
The Burqa.
Akkad, right?
Oh, Akkad.
Right? They broke apart because they have their own plans and whatever, and then
It's the foundation.
it conflicts.
Yeah.
Right? And nobody wants to get in order.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
they do my own thing.
That's what happens when you leave, you leave the truth. It's like the truth is the only foundation you can get. The Most High and the Son Yahushua. If you go off and do your own thing, eventually you're gonna have infighting. We had infighting when the Lord was dealing with us. How much more when the Lord's not dealing with you? That's why you see that with Sakari and those guys, because you're in something that's based upon what you think. So next time the one guy gets a good idea, he's like, well, I think it should be like this, instead of something that's outside of all of us, which is the scriptures and Yahushua and the Most High.
Well, the elder Tahar blessed him, right? Like, even though he did it how he did it, the elder Tahar still blessed him and said, you know what? I like him, but that's what I'm saying. When you go off, a lot of times you just get worse and worse and worse. I'm not saying a brother can't start his own thing. You can, some men do, but he got worse and worse and
Brother, he
worse.
had Passover at a strip club.
Exactly. That's what I mean.
You tell me that's a leader. I get you repented, but you're a top leader. I'm when you're the high priest.
I agree.
What sense is that?
You never repented.
I agree.
If you repented, you wouldn't be denouncing Yahushua.
But he just said, like, oh, I'm just not.
I know. I know what you mean. I know what you mean. But this guy's. Go ahead.
I was just going to say to repent, you have to come back under those shackles again. And under the shackles, there's a certain weight you have to carry. So they don't want to carry the weight. It's too, I don't want to carry it. Let me just do my own thing.
Yeah.
Let me just kind of be half in and half out. It's like someone, you're a trainer, you got a client, you tell them, no, you got to lift 100 pounds. It's like, you know what, leave 50.
Yeah.
It's like, no, I told you got to lift 100. That's how you
that's
get
the discipline.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's the
So you're
discipline.
going to see he's not disciplined. He's just been on a fucking app.
Yep.
It's fake.
That's the discipline.
And that's why they're going to be helpless in that day.
Yeah.
Hey, because you think a lot of times when the back-to-back Sabbath comes, that you want to be disciplined. Sometimes the Sabbath is ending and a new one is beginning,
Right.
and you have a flex lined up, and
Right.
then just the flesh is talking now.
Yeah.
Now the flesh is saying, "Oh, we're gonna have to reschedule."
Right.
You know?
You feel somewhat frustrated, but
Well, of course you're feeling frustrated. Of course you're feeling
Be honest.
frustrated.
No, that's what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that it's making you feel that way.
You said Thursday to
Yeah,
Friday night.
Yeah.
That's what I'm real with brothers. I'm just being real. But that discipline is gonna make you say, "Yo, not today. It is what it is."
Just send you a picture. Right?
Even Jewish. Yeah, on the Sabbath. Yeah. And that's it's always that way. On Sabbath, that's when it's a picture of something you should be looking at.
So
You know?
true.
Yeah, brothers know who we're on Dundas and Victoria. If the Sabbath was on a Friday to Saturday,
And we're on the
we're on
highways.
the highways, all the sexy bitches are walking by.
All the time.
And then the next
The regular day, the regular
Yeah,
weeks,
the work-
No.
you know,
nothing.
regular Saturday, regular.
Because they know that we can't talk to nothing. It's so true, man. That was so true.
Or it might be Saturday night and you're out there on the highway, in the daytime, and then all the bitches are walking by and trying to tempt you, mess up your head. You're seeing this fucking,
Slut.
madness.
Satan's crafty, man.
Yeah.
So true.
Romans 11, 7. And we're talking about different Israelites seeking comfort, right? Because they know there's a lack of something, but just don't know what it is.
That's right.
Right?
That open at noonday.
Gone.
Yeah.
Right. They didn't link on and log on to the subscription of this truth. So Romans 11 and verse 7 says, "What then? Israel has not obtained that which he seeketh for, but
Which is really and truly in this time. I don't know back in the day, because I don't have recollection of when we were in the back in the day, but what our people are seeking now is equality. And you'll never find equality. You're a nickel, which means that you're on the bottom.
And everybody was never set up for us to be equal too. So even that's going on, that's being entered the scriptures, if that's the mindset a Negro's gonna have. The Bible says in Deuteronomy 7:6 that we are meant to be above. Right?
Hand joining hand.
God, you know,
Which that was their perverted way, because in their spirit they want justice,
God.
right? But that was your perverted way of asking for justice by asking for equality with your enemy.
God, right? And we were meant to be integrated. We're always meant to be set apart, segregated, right? But they went after different doctrines, and it's a doctrine, an integration thing,
Yes.
right? To believe that all men are created equal. Where? Don't say that. My hand and my body, the same. They're not equal.
That's right.
On my body, so you can tell all men are created equal.
Yeah.
Oh man. Right? So it says, but the election has obtained it, right? And the rest were blinded. It's gonna get into it. Who caused their blindness? According as it is written, Yahweh has given them the spirit of slumber, eyes that they should not see, and ears that they should not hear.
And I remember that for myself before the truth. I remember I was trying to search for something, but my eyes was the eyes of slumber, and my ears could not hear. I remember that, meaning that I couldn't retain information.
Yeah.
Now I'm retaining information like a sponge,
Yeah.
like a newborn child.
Mhm.
So I remember those days, man.
Unto this day, right? So the spirit is also it's an ancient time, but it's also in future tense. It's right through. This book, we live within the book, not outside the book. So somebody think, that was in the olden days, or we're all in this book. It's the Most High's mind.
The Most High requires that which is possible.
Come.
Exactly.
We're always in biblical times.
That's right.
That's why you have to understand reincarnation.
Right.
The Most High is punishing those spirits that are here today.
Yeah.
You guys don't get bugged out when we say these things. You're like, well, this life. You're thinking about this life. The spirit that's in that body has many lifetimes,
Mhm.
and it comes back.
They think we're in some magical time where you just have America as a superpower.
Right.
God is somewhere there, but he's not really there.
Right.
Come.
Like, we're
Yeah,
in
yeah,
those biblical ancient times.
That's right.
where God punishes people.
That's right.
It's the Most High's timeline.
Exactly.
Always.
That's right.
Most so far, you might be thinking a piss somewhere, and that's where you were buried.
So true.
The Most High said, he said he pretty much hid himself from the world for a time.
Yeah.
Now he's visiting the world that he made.
That's right.
Yeah.
He's so far out that a lot of times you link up with people that you linked up with your past life.
That's right. That's his son.
Well, look at the brothers in the room. The brothers in the room, a lot of us were there.
We were
in that
friends.
same lifetime.
That's right.
100%.
That's right.
100%.
Well, that's his brother, your son. Like you just see there. Man, link up and this spirit knows me.
See that? That's how it works. That's
Yeah.
exactly how it works.
Good. Verse 9. And David, our king, says, let their table be made a snare. Right? So David had a power, he's a king, but he's also a prophet.
Yeah.
Right? So he's one that a prophet can call curses on you, man.
Yeah.
Right? Say an F word, so F word, and that's just rude speech. A curse is like, I hope the Most High kill you.
And your family.
And your
So
family,
true.
right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So David says, let their table be made a snare. And that table is the Bible, right? It's the bread, which is Yahushai, right? That's why he bugged those Israelites back in the day when it says, eat of my body,
Yeah.
and drink of my
Yeah,
blood.
this guy-
And they took it literal.
What?
Get him a car.
Yeah.
I knew he was suspicious.
Same
Yeah.
thing with when he said.
That's why they call it Beelzebub.
Yeah,
Same thing when he said to be born again. And
Good.
Nicodemus is like, what do you mean?
Yeah.
You're already born.
Good.
You know?
Yeah.
And like when we watched Vikings, when he was trying to explain to him, he's like, I'm born again. He's like, what do you mean? Like, can you put this room again?
Yeah.
And these are simple things. Now,
Now, yeah.
With their table made a snare and a trap and a stumbling block.
This is word because they don't get it. Like we brought out an explanation about bringing about being born again. Even that's coming from the table, right? They can't spiritually digest it. It's too much. It's overwhelming. It's like I know YOLO's my life and that's it. I can do this GTA shit here and now and forever, right? Do all the sin to win, and that's it.
Yeah.
And I'm going out.
Yeah.
That Jake is super fucking carnal.
And a recompense unto them. So a payback, right? Because when the Lord was handed over to be murdered, right? Like we say like smoothing his killed, he was murdered, man.
Yeah, he was.
Right?
Yeah.
Brutally.
So he was marked like no other man. So like he got like one hits to the head, and they put a crown of thorns on him. They beat him, beyond the 39 slashes and shit. Like there's not no record of how much he got slashed, but I'm sure he got beat more than 39.
And that's what they physically did. This book is the Most High's law book. And what he's given us really is more. So you're going into the law book and just saying what you want. That's why I said it's a snare onto them. You just open up the book, say what you want. Okay, I feel like this breakdown. If you went in Esau's judicial system, you just came up and started, I want to erase this law, you blast your way. So you guys, this book is open to you, and because you're spiritually discerned, you think you just open up and just read it how you want, not knowing you're trapping yourself. Them angels look at you like, yeah, okay.
I got it here. I got a tally mark here.
It's a law book. You can't go in there and change it. It's a law book.
It's not a novel.
Yeah, it
Not
tells you that.
everybody reads it like a novel, which is where you're going to always get lost, because the scriptures can go from the past to the future to the present. So if you read it like a novel, you will always get lost. That doesn't work like that. That's why the blueprint is precept upon precept, line upon line, here a little, there a little. Right? It's coded.
Yep. And all the history, like when you go in, like all the history and the stories that are in it, which is our history, those are like indirect laws.
Exactly.
When you read the story about David, you learned a lot of laws in that story just by seeing how he behaved.
Exactly.
Okay, I'm not gonna do that. So it's the whole book. It's right from wrong. So if you go in there and you just start changing things up, that you can't do that.
You can't change this economy. You too, Esau, especially. You can't change it, man. Right? So yeah, that's what it is. It's the Lord's economy that he set up. Okay. Last point. It says the captivity and restoration of Yashar Allah. That's what it's about, right? Yehovah Shimon Shai set it up for that to happen. So yeah, you can't change his economy, right? That's all of that.
Which that word is just house.
I got some.
You got the word.
You got a word real quick.
Word precept.
Word precept, the dictionary. A general rule intended to regulate behavior or thought.
So, hey, that's beautiful. Beautiful. The water, that's beautiful because a precept, when you read the stories of all these men, you're reading precepts. So there's rules within these stories for us to follow. That if you don't have the spirit, you're not going to see you're just going to see, like you said, as a storybook. Oh man, David taking down Goliath. That was crazy. All Christians talk about that, but you don't see the rules in that story.
Hey, even for brothers. Even for brothers who are in the truth.
Yeah.
A brother will be like, hey, I'm grabbing a precept. And that's not a precept. A precept is supposed to link up with the scripture that a brother just brought out. It's all supposed to line and make sense. That's how the story is read. right? The story's read, or it makes sense. Keys come together to where you're just like, okay, that aligns, that aligns. That's a precept. A precept aligns with what somebody else
That's right.
brought out.
That's right.
Not just by your thought, right? Because sometimes we could just be speaking on woman, and then you get another scripture about woman. That's a precept. But sometimes a precept could be a story
It is
about
both, yeah.
Lot and a story about so and so, and then it links. That's
Yeah.
also a precept.
Even about even the 2/3, their inheritance is not here yet.
True,
You know what I'm
true,
saying? They're not part of the
true,
inheritance on
Yeah.
this side.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah, the main subject, that's what brother was breaking down, brother Howard as well, the main subject of that precept must link with that precept. Right? So if you know, that's why I send those videos out to you young men, right? You gotta hear like the words, what the guy said at the beginning. That's the precept you gotta get first, the foundation.
The
See?
foundation, yeah.
Yeah. So if the guy's talking about, hey, I want a sign, I want a sign, I want a sign. If the Lord be true, give me a sign, right? So what's the precept for that? What's the precept for that, right? Simply for talking to you at home.
Hey, that's how you do research.
That's right.
For anybody who's ever done research, that's how you do research. You'll research something, and then it stops there, and you go into something else, stops there, but then you link them up, and now the picture is starting to become clearer, like a puzzle.
That's right. That's right.
Do you want a definition of it?
Yeah, that was the guy.
Yeah.
Let me finish this. So,
Yeah.
Verse 10 is the last verse. In Romans 11, verse 10. Let the eyes be darkened. No, it's like let their eyes be darkened,
Yeah, that's right.
that they may not see and bow down their back always. So that's the state condition. You see 2/3 of people in.
What's
Right?
that?
Right?
And spirits then?
You know, that's why you're seeing unfolded via black on black crime, niggas in projects, right, shooting each other, rape, robbery, like all these things, right? These are curses put on 2/3 of people from the King David, man.
Hey, I don't know if you guys seen that comedy video of the Jake. He walks around with his jewelry to random Jake neighborhood. He's like, "Yo, I'm not from here."
Oh, yeah,
I want the
yeah.
directions.
Right.
The man's already watching it. That's an illustration of Deuteronomy 28. That's your brother that's telling me the man just watching. Okay, where you from? And give me your shit.
And that's some curses, man, because we're not in their kingdom. So anything can happen to us. Anything. Jake can his flip flops and his Crocs. But does he know this is a valley of shadow of death? So yeah.
Okay, we're gonna precept this.
Somebody else had something.
Just to back you up, you mentioned about the Most High divided us. He didn't integrate us. This is Deuteronomy 32:8 in the NLT. It says, when the Most High assigned lands to the nations, when he divided up the human race, he established the boundaries of the peoples according to the number in his heavenly court. For the people of Israel belong to the Lord.
Right.
Jacob is his special possession.
Yeah, because Jacob is the servant. That's all it comes down to, right? There's a scripture where it lets you know that Moab cannot come into the sanctuary, the congregation. Esau definitely cannot. So how could these people be servants? You people are all gone. You Christians get cut on so much levels, it's not even funny, man. To serve the Most High, you have to come from a specific seed, a specific race.
And even the Most High can trip people up there because they'll say, "Oh, didn't Esau get born from Isaac?"
True.
Yeah.
True. And didn't Cain come from Adam?
True.
Yeah.
The Most High can set that up.
Yeah.
And have you to trick them.
Exactly.
He said 2 nations are your rulers.
You
Just
just
because
gotta
you
know.
come from the same loin doesn't mean you're the same people.
That's right.
Primarily what you're saying is foundation, but the Most High is a strange power.
Very strange.
He'll have gins and snares set up for you.
Yeah.
That's why you need the Holy. That's why you need the Holy Spirit. Because what you're saying is the Spirit.
Isaiah 8:20, man, if they speak from his word because of the light in them, right? So the light wasn't given to each and every one, right? It said in Psalms 147 and 19 and 20, he'll show his word unto Jacob, which is the 1/3 in the city. You know, that's what he's dealing right now. The whole nation don't know what the Most High requires.
That's right. That's right.
Our precept.
Last one will hold up.
Yeah, this precept I've been holding from it first started, but I was gonna leave it. But now, Brother Kazak mentioned it twice. First he mentioned the valley of the shadow of death, and now we mentioned the light. So this is Isaiah 9 and verse 2. It says, the people that walk in darkness have seen a great light. They that dwell in the land of the shadow of death.
Do you know what darkness is?
Yeah, it's not having the wisdom of the understanding.
Simple and plain. That's all that it is.
Yeah, it says, they that dwell in the land of the shadow of death, upon them hath the light shine. So we're just speaking about the elect, because the elect men are now waking up. The light is shining in them, right? Bright, because this people are seeing this all across the earth.
That's right.
Right?
And that light Yahweh shine.
That light Yahweh shine.
The day star.
And that light is also inside of you as well, because you're waking up. Now you're illuminated. So it's that even though it's coming from Yahweh Shai, it's inside of you as well.
Well, that's why Yahweh says,
exactly.
Right, he's stuck in your mind.
So you can't hide. Where you go, people just see you.
Yep.
The demons know who you are. And then Yahweh Shai was, right?
Yep.
Yeah, random people always want to start a conversation with you. Always.
Tell you, confess. You want to confess.
Yes.
That's all I hear.
Yes.
Whole full-on confession.
Yes, it's
And
true.
it's not to us, but like you said, it's to Yahweh
It's to
Shai.
Yahweh Shai. It's the spirit.
That's what they're
That's
doing.
why if you deal with somebody that can't confess to you, dangerous, man.
You don't even fucking like them.
You know?
You're confessing every day.
Well, we confess to the camera, right? When we do videos, we confess our sins. We don't hide. We don't lie to brothers. We tell brothers, yo, listen, we're sinners. We've done this. We've done this. We've done that. That's the whole point. The whole point is not to trick brothers to make it seem like we're perfect.
And that's yeah, exactly. That's why when you look at these other Israelites that are proud in their wickedness,
They've done no wrong.
is that like you said, why turn off and said I haven't done anything?
The scripture says, "Don't be sad if something befalls you." That scripture, paraphrasing.
Though some strange thing
Done.
to you,
Yeah, because other brothers go through things. So you might be doing something that and you put it out there, but something that everything that too.
Yeah.
Wrong.
Right?
So
Exactly. You took that right off.
Done.
Yep. Go ahead. Is that it?
Yeah, that's it.
Come. Go ahead. Close it up.
All right. For order for that, for all you listeners out there, hope you were found this edifying.
Go on, Yahweh Bashim Shai.
Total collect. So I'll give all praises to
Yahweh,
Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakadash.
and always double honors to your apostles and elders of Great Millstone, who have all learned the truth from. Peace, blessings with utmost sincerity to your brothers that do this work for the four corners of the earth. This is Jim Estrona Camp. I'm saying shalom.
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 Shalom.